views and opinions expressed in this program, not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and positions of any entities they represent. What up, y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's that time again, and like I always say, it is 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, so y'all know what that means. It's Inside Stepping Time, and we have a dynamic show tonight because we have a dynamic guest, and I promise you tonight, you guys, we about to blow the lid off some stuff. We about to have a whole conversation about several things. We're about to get to the root of a few things, a couple of topics, and we're going to tie up a bunch of loose ends. We're going to connect some dots. We're going to fill in some blanks. Hope y'all ready for that. Linda Sanders is in the building. Hello, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. Lady Sings the News. Ah, I tried it. I'm leaving that to you, Lady Sings News, y'all. Lady Sings the News can actually sing. Karen Nichols in the house was happening. Y'all, it has been a pleasant week of peace and prosperity and quiet. I like it when it's quiet. I had an interesting weekend. Just a good friend of mine, DJ Mr. Mello, my boy Jeffrey Rice, had his birthday this weekend. We celebrated with him out there at his spot, had a really good time barbecuing and hanging out, had the pool and everything going on. So we enjoyed that, and it's been I like it when it's quiet. Y'all know the busy season is finally over. Y'all know I said, man, we had to get through that August-September period. Every single year it is extremely, extremely busy for us. And man, we made it through, and we gonna kick it. Y'all know I got a couple of things I got to do over the next few weeks. You'd think I wouldn't be traveling, but I still got to travel, y'all. Jerome Cook, what's happening in the house? Dallas Brown, what's up, homie? Joyce Taylor in the building. Henry Carter, what's up? He say, what up, dope? What up, dope? So look, next week, this weekend coming, we're going to be in Houston, y'all. Faces of Houston, third weekend. Man, listen here. When I tell y'all it's a good time, it's a great time. We got some really, really good things going on. We got DJ Key. Aki Carter will be in the house spinning on the ones and twos. I understand Tall Rick is coming through. My man DJ Mr. Mello will be in the building. And, of course, Faces of Houston and their regular band of Merry Misfits. We are going to have a good time. Val Wells, what's up? Sandra Van Dyson in the house. Arjanelle Anderson, how you doing? It's about to go down. Ain't that right, Sandra Davis? It's going down. It's going down. Every third weekend, Joyce Taylor, yes, you want to be in Houston for third weekend. This weekend, this third weekend right here is going to be off the chain. Shout out to my man, Coach Chiefs, Big Chief Productions over there at the original Red Rooster. They about to have Coach Chiefs' birthday this weekend, y'all. There's a few people on that birthday ticket. My girl Lala, she's on that thing. We got a lot of folks celebrating birthdays this weekend, y'all. So we will be in Houston doing that damn thing. Then, of course, let me also, before we get this thing started, because it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a long show. It's going to be a good show. Linda Morales Frazier in the building. What's up, Miss Frazier in the house? We're going to be leaving here early November. Before we do that, though, I'm going an early vote. I need y'all to understand how important it is. Now, a lot of people be talking about, my vote don't count. Well, let me explain something to you. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't be working so damn hard to keep you from doing it. So I don't care which direction you vote in. I kind of do, but it ain't none of my business. But vote. If you don't do nothing else, at least do that. Exercise your God-given constitutional right and cast your ballot for the person that you believe is going to be the leader of the free world, or should be the leader of the free world. Angie Simmons in the house. How you doing? Rochelle Washington in the house. What's up? Teresa Sanders in the building. So don't forget to do that, you guys. And I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to do early voting as soon as Texas, here in Texas, early voting starts on the 21st. You guys, like Atlanta, I think started today, and we got a few other states where the early voting has already begun. So take advantage of that. Kenneth Jackson, all the way from Houston, Texas. Thank you for coming through. Kenneth Wynn in the house. C. Wands, what's up? Um, Smiling happily in the building. So I want you guys to make sure that you take advantage of that. I'm going to early vote because why? Because during the election, I will be in Chi-Town. I will be at the crib, you dig? Because my baby girl is getting married, y'all. Valeria Connor, how you doing? I'm glad to see you. Thank you for coming through. Linda Brooks, all the way from Chi-Town in the house. I'm going to be in Chicago for probably about a week. You guys, my middle baby, you know, it's funny, all my kids almost, I got one more to get married off. I got two. This will be two down, one to go. Maybe I'll get some grandbabies out of this before it's all said and done. My baby girl will be getting married on November 9th, and I'm going to be front and center. Y'all, I got to make a speech. And y'all know I am not ever at a loss for words, but I promise you, I'm having a very hard time trying to figure out what it is I need to be saying at this here wedding, and you know, doing the whole daddy walk the baby girl down the aisle sort of thing. So we're gonna see how that turn out. Y'all will get to see some pictures because you know I'm gonna put some up on Facebook and a few other places on social media. Why? Because I am proud of my babies. I got some bad babies, y'all. I'm telling you, I make some bad babies. I ain't gonna lie. They look good and they smart. And I ain't just saying that because I'm their daddy. Jerry Baskerville in the house. How you doing? Thank you for coming through. Tim Ellington, what's up? What's up? Dublin, Georgia, in the building. Darlene Mans, there go my girl. What's up? Jerome Cook. So look, y'all be looking for that. Now, let me get to the subject at hand. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to discuss a few things. One of the main things we're going to talk about tonight is something that I've been struggling with just a little bit. And I say struggling, I don't know if I mean struggling, but you know, we hear things around the community all the time, and we definitely sometimes get confused about some of the things that go on around our community. They're gonna produce a lady sticking her head in the door.
Oh, y'all just had
What?
to come talk shit. You act
Come
like
on,
you
come on,
only one
come
had
on,
kids.
come on, come on, come on in here, talk crazy.
No,
Come on, mama.
you only one had kids.
Yeah, I did. I had them kids all by myself. Let me not be that way. Look here, y'all. Let me stop right quick and say this before we get going. Rochelle Washington just said, "I'm gonna speak from the heart, and it'll come to me naturally." You know what, Rochelle, and I thank you for that. Let me tell you something. I am a very wealthy man, and I don't mean in a financial way. I mean that what I have is priceless. What I have and have had in my life is the fortune to have married a woman despite whatever hardships, pitfalls, the good times, the bad times me and that woman have shared over the last 34 years. I need y'all to understand that in my best estimation, her and I understood the assignment. And because our children were not asked to be here, it was something that her and I shared based on our relationship and our love, that we brought these babies into this world intentionally. Wasn't no mistakes over here. It was all 100% 10 toes down intentional. And I'm saying that to say that I am fortunate that my wife, because I ain't gonna even talk about me and what the things that I had to do, because that really is not of any consequence, because you do what grown folks are supposed to do when you're taking care of your babies, at least you're supposed to. My wife understood that we had a responsibility to raise our children to be the best possible people that they could be, to be the best that they could be as individual human beings, by being responsible and accountable and understanding what life was actually about, and understanding how to be happy and not take on all of the weight of the world, but be smart, make good decisions, and live a prosperous life. Because of my wife, my children were able to flourish and thrive the way that they have. Because of my wife, I was able to get out here and get this bread and make a life for my family, while she made sure that the family stayed locked down. We did this very traditionally, very traditionally. What no, well, I got to do this and I need to do that and blah, 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 blah was never about either of us. We collectively, with the help and tutelage of my elders, her elders, and that family unit, real grandmothers, grandfathers, that sort of thing. And we were able to create 3 people that I am proud to say are good, wholesome, important human beings to me. And man, listen, I say that I got great kids, and I ain't saying that because of being their father, although I am biased. But when you watch children grow up speaking multiple languages, obtaining multiple degrees, understanding what it means to be serious about life and taking things to the next level, using you as the proper stepping stone that you set for them to stand upon to become great. I have nothing but admiration for my children. And so I don't mean to I'm gonna get off this soapbox, but I had to say that because that woman right there deserves all the credit. Real talk. She did that. She absolutely put her foot in it, man. I could not have chosen a better person, period, to have had my offspring with. I could not have. I don't ask me, the stars aligned, the Lord stepped in, whatever you want to say, however you want to call that, whatever it was, it worked well for me. Maybe I didn't make $100 million, but man, listen, what I got right here with them babies and this family is priceless. You can't buy this. This ain't, you can't buy this. So I'm good. Now,
Thank you.
you get the hell out of here. I ain't playing with you. Susu Watson, what's happening, baby? Gina Love, Speedy in the building. What's up, Tammy Alexis? Tell your mama them I said hello. Them my cradle to the grave folks right there. Sonia, how are you? Let's see who else we got. Cheryl here. What's up, baby? Wise Cat. Denise Gilden in the building. We got Pastor D in the house. That's my main man, 50 grand right there. Karen Nichols, how you doing? All right, y'all. We getting ready to get down to it because I'm telling y'all right now, tonight's show, you're going to want to not only tune in, you're going to be tagging some folks when this one here go down. Because man, look, I got the magic number. Melanie DeBro in the house. What's up? Andrea, a.k.a. Ann Hargrove. How are you? Listen, y'all, let me get my guest up here because let me tell y'all something. We about to fill in the gaps, connect the dots. We're about to tie the strings. We're going to tie the knots. Y'all, we getting ready to show you some things. We getting ready to explain some things, and we getting ready to put a whole bunch of stuff in perspective. Now, let me explain to you before I pull her in. Let me explain something to y'all. For those of you who follow this show and have followed it on a regular basis, you know that I spend a lot of time discussing the history, not because I'm trying to ram it down anybody's throat, but I believe that it's very important for you to understand where we've been in order to understand where we're going and where we actually are. Kurt White in the building. What's happening, baby? Lillian Hull, how are you? In order to understand this, you have to know where the bodies is buried, so to speak. And there's nothing better than when you get it straight from the horse's mouth. And y'all know I've had many a dynamic guest on here and people who actually were in the room, not people who heard stuff, not people who made up stuff, not people who just came along and was trying to figure things out. I deal with the straight up, raw, straight up people who can tell you straight up what's really going on, where the origins are for things. So now, y'all know I always talk about how we go between and I'm not going to say old school because people don't realize that old school is actually new school. We're going to talk about the period between when the original transitioned into old school, new school, because old school, new school is the same. We got to get that clear. But we're going to talk about tonight how a lot of that came to pass, and a person who is definitely one who had their hand directly in some of the things that created the elements that we now recognize and don't really understand part of where some of it came from. Well, tonight we get ready to show you a couple of things. David Calhoun, what's up, family in the house? Chi-Town in the building. Janet Wooten, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Denise Gilden, what's up? What's up? And so we're gonna dig into a few things, and so you guys just I'm telling you now, you might even want to get a pen and paper and jot things down. Turn that thing that way for me. Turn it that way for me. Turn it sideways for me, baby. Turn it sideways. Flip it that way.
Oh, sideways.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Let me make sure we got you. You switch because you switch things there. All right. Hold on. Let me make a couple of minor adjustments, y'all. We got to make these little bitty adjustments as we go along, so we can make sure we giving y'all the best that we got. What Anita Baker say? Giving you the best that I got. We're gonna give you the best that we got. Y'all hold on for me for one quick second while I do this, because we gotta
is that good?
Gotta make adjustments. That's great right there. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are not familiar or do not know, because the one thing that I always have to remind people, DJ Shorty Smooth in the building, what's happening, baby, is that Mia Johnson, how you doing? Is that we are adamant about making sure that people understand things. Sometimes people, my wife like to say, you take the scenic route. Well, I'm not taking the scenic route. I'm giving you the information. And believe me, like I always say, we have an open door policy here. If there's anything that I say that's wrong, anything that you dispute, you have the permission to come on this show and dispute me publicly in front of everybody. Just make sure you got your ducks in a row. Don't be like some people and try to talk behind my back and ambush and all that nonsense. Come through. Holla at your boy. Because, see, I got the information. Not because of what I heard, but because I was either there or I know somebody who was. Now, with that said, we are about to tie a few knots. Well, we're probably going to tie some people's ass in a knot before this is over. But for the most part, we're going to discuss
Lord have mercy.
some of these things that y'all need to hear about. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are new to the Steppers community and you have not had the blessing of being touched by this young lady, listen to her words tonight because they're very important and they're going to make a lot of things make sense for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Miss Sunshine Haywood. What's happening?
Hello, everybody.
Sunshine?
Brian, that was a wonderful introduction. Yo, check is in the mail. Hey, everybody.
Check in the mail. Yeah. So, Miss Sunshine, it is wonderful having you on. In fact, let me just back up. It is my pleasure to have you on. You are, in my best estimation, an individual who, you know, I do this series all the time, and I would have normally put you under the category of people you should know. And I do that because there are so many people who are new to this community, and there are so many people who have, and we're going to discuss this, who are actually legendary in this community, people who actually have made impacts on this community. And we are going to discuss some of that right there. Now, Sunshine, my dear.
Yes.
See, a lot of people have heard that name before, but they clearly do not understand the weight that name carries. Right quick. Mia Johnson, how you doing? Tracy Temple, my man. DJ Vale in the house. What's happening? Erica Jones, my man William O. Collaboration is real. Susu, Erica Jones, I see you. Kathleen Rose Davis, how are you tonight? Val Wells is in the house. C. Wands is in the house. We got Angie Simmons in the house. Let's see. Rochelle, you got Martina Dees. Okay, everybody, okay, we ready now. We ready. Let's do this. Now, for those people who are not familiar with Miss Sunshine, a lot of people, your reputation, Sunshine, kind of precedes itself. And I'm going to be honest with you, even before this show tonight, I have had so many people ask, is Sunshine coming back? But before we get into that, Sunshine, give us a little bit of background about you, some of your history. Tell us about when you first came into the game. What year was it? That's an even better question. What year was it?
Okay, so I'm the class of 2005. What's up? I know some class of 2005 out there listening right now. Robin
2005.
Summerrise, Mina, Nate the Great, George Bennett. Even Frank came out. White Boy Frank came out in 2005. So, but before I even start there, I want to talk about when I first saw stepping. Can
Yeah.
I talk about that a little bit? How I even
Yes,
got to
please.
stepping? Because
That's what I
I
want to
love
hear.
that.
That's what we want to hear.
Uh, okay, all right. So for all my spiritual girls, we know this word called manifestation. So I manifested stepping. So 1995, I'm in the military. I'm down in Texas, Killeen, Texas, at
Hmm.
Fort Hood, and I am watching 106 in Park. And I'm in my I ain't gonna tell my age, but it was no, I was in my late 20s. I was in my late 20s, and I saw the first time I saw stepping was the video, of course, R. Kelly "Step in the Name of Love,"
Hmm.
and it blew my mind. I was married. My husband was from Chicago, so of course, he like every Chicago. Oh, I've been stepping since I was in diapers, girl. They ain't nothing. They ain't doing that, right? So I'm like, I want to learn this day. I'm serious. He couldn't even dance. But anyway, I digress. So I hope he ain't listening. Sorry, Mr. Haywood. Um, but anyway, I watched that video so much because 106 Park, if you was like me in 90, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, we would run home to watch, or from work, school, wherever you was at, you run home and watch 106 in Park on BET. That's when BET was really BET. But I digress. So anyway, I'm watching this video and I'm kick slide. I'm trying to do my thing, right? So we
I would
wind
have
up.
loved to been a
Long
fly
story
on the wall
short,
for that one. Go ahead.
I was kicking slide. I swear. I was a ballroomer though. I had rhythm now. Wait a
Okay, yeah,
minute.
that's right,
I'm,
because
I'm
you're
from
from
Detroit.
Detroit. So you from the ballroom culture. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. And I learned from Fast Freddy. So yeah. So anyhow, so I moved to Chicago. We moved to Chicago, and I lived on the West Side.
Hmm.
And I lived on the West Side for 7 years. So I was on the West Side. I went to the legendary spot, the Rose.
The Rose, baby. Yes, sir.
Listen, I had just moved to Chicago. Now, mind you, I'm from Detroit. I've been all around
You
the
went
world
straight
before
in
I
the
got to
trenches too.
Chicago.
You went right in.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said you went straight into the trenches. You went right in.
Oh my goodness! Listen, I lived on Central Park in Jackson. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Okay. So I actually not to hold up nobody. I really do like the West Side better than the South Side, but I won't start no arguments right now.
Ha. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Oh my God! When I worked at Rush Hospital, they talked about the West Side. The West Side talked about the South Side. It was crazy. Chicago, get your shit together. This shit is crazy. It was so funny. But anyway, so I'm at the Rose, and the first person I see is Bishop Don Juan. Now
Uh-huh.
let me digress. Before I started Stepping in Love video in 1995, Pimps Up and Hoes Down came out on HBO. So
Right.
now I'm fixated on the guy with the green is for the money,
Gold is
gold
for
is
the
for the
honey.
honey. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? So I'm looking at him right there. He walking. I didn't even know what it was, but I know now. As I look, it was
Hmm.
walking. So and right after that, it burnt down. Like wait. I didn't even get it with my foot wet, before it burned down. So then I meet a friend because my husband. I hope he ain't watching. My ex-husband, but he had cheated on me, right? So,
Throw him under
so
the
the
bus, why
young
don't you?
lady
No.
he cheated on me with, her best friend became my best friend. Figure that out. Let's talk about it, okay?
Hmm.
So anyway, she was a stepper. Claudel taught this girl.
Okay.
How about that? Now I didn't know Claudel was cold like he was when I knew it. He was just a regular dude when I saw him. So I'm like, okay, he cool.
Right.
So she takes me to 3Gs, the legendary 3Gs,
Hmm.
right? And the first people I saw that caught my eye, like, oh my God, I am like when I say I wanted to learn, but I still didn't learn because I had a bad experience. But anyway, it was Quay and Mo. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, but Jaqueline
Hmm.
and Mo from Majestic Gents used to dance a lot. They both was tall, so they stood out like a sore thumb on the floor, right? They was graceful and glad and sly. I'm like, I wanna dance like her. I wanna look like him. And then when they dance, whatever. So I wind up going through divorce. So that's what stopped the whole stepping right there.
Yeah, well,
Needless
that'll
to
do
say,
it.
yeah, needless to say, I wound up divorcing that fool, right? So I didn't go back to stepping again until 2005.
Hmm.
And I happened to, here go back that word manifestation, right? I happened to meet Andre Blackwell,
Hmm.
who was the what? Choreographer Step in the Name of Love
Right.
video. You can't make this up, right? So here I am with Big Nose. I'm like, oh, now mind you, I don't know. I don't even put it two and two together that he's that dude. Even though I watched the video, you know who stood out? And I'm listen. I'm gonna tell you who stood out. Stefan, the white boy.
Yep.
That dude stood out
Yep.
to me.
Yep. Of course he gonna
Which, by
stand
the
out.
way, I want to
He's like
dance
an
with that dude.
anomaly in this community, you know.
He's an anomaly, but I'm gonna tell you something. That dude is smooth. Listen here, girls. If y'all
No
wasn't
doubt.
around when Stefan was around, y'all missed the girl. He was from Sweden. He was giving out chocolate and good. Look, anyway, I digress. So anyway, I start, so Big Nose, Dre, I call him that. Y'all know y'all love him. But anyway, so me and Andre Blackwell started hanging out, and I lived on 59th and Prairie, and he at the time lived like on 59th and Hostet or something, like right down on across the Dan Ryan, right? So I'm still not really stepping, but I'm knowing that he teaches class. He like, you should come to the class, this and that, this and that. So I wind up going to the class, and I like it. Dre, he listen. I don't know if y'all know this, but if y'all don't give Andre Blackwell his credit and his flowers, that little dude is the reason why a lot of us, especially class of 2005, and anybody that's outside of Chicago, that's the reason we came in. It's because what he did in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody he put in that video was perfect for that video. Except for the girl that danced with R. Kelly, but I don't think it had nothing to do with that, but I digress. But the steppers he put in there, they were perfect for the look, the aesthetics, what made you draw, like they were young. Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Well, I ain't gonna get started on that. I ain't gonna get started on that yet. But they were young. Everything about it was aesthetically pleasing. So hanging out with him, I was in my like mid-30s. And so maybe about 3 months after we started hanging out, mind you, I'm just the barfly. I'm just outside. I'm not even stepping. I'm looking at them step. I don't know who is who, what is what. But long story short, even before Dre, I had, I'm going to talk about Sherry. So I had a friend named Sherry. So Sherry's the one that took me to the other place. So mind you, I go to the other place right before it shut down. I don't know what's going on. One place get burnt down. Then I go to the other place, it gets shut down. Am I mad? Look, what is going on?
Like, is it you?
All the places are legendary because I went over there, I guess. But anyway, so my girl Sherry, she used to have these gatherings or whatever. So her, one of her buddies, his name is Hardy. I don't know if y'all know him, but Hardy, shout out to Hardy. He's a fireman. He was the dude that really started me to dance. Again, I was hanging out with Dre, but I wasn't really dancing. I was just like a little barfly.
Mm-hmm.
But Hardy is the one that made, like, being at her house and just around people that wasn't steppers. That was my first entryway, was at Sherry's house with this dude named Hardy. Then Hardy took me to Dre formally for a class. We did a class together. You feel me? Even though I knew Dre already even before that, but me and him went over there. So after that, I got more serious, I guess. After Hardy was like, "Yo, let's pay for this private so you can get it together." So then Dre, and then because of Dre, I don't know how, because I was drinking a lot back in the day. It was great loose years. But anyway, I digress. But I wind up meeting Tick Man.
Mm-hmm.
And Tick Man is the one to put the fire, not like Diddler now, not that kind of fire, but he's the one that really let me, he let me know that, there was someone that could teach me this dance. And it was from a female. And he said, you need a female to teach you. Mm-hmm. So he talked to me about Lady Margaret. Mm-hmm. So guess who really put me into the game for real, for real? You take the Three Musketeers, those Three Musketeers was Dre from Hardy's introduction. It was Dre, then Tick Man, then Margaret. And that time, that's when Shy Stepper, there's a lot went on in 2005. Right. Like there was a big surge of, if I can remember, at least 30. I think Smokers in class of 2005 too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of steppers that came out at once, like a big collide. It was like maybe 30 of us. That's crazy. I don't even know if I'm talking about like not just 30 new dancers. Everybody was dancing. Like, right. What? Where y'all been?
Mm-hmm. And so would
stop
you
me
say,
if I'm lying, y'all. I'm not reading no comments because I don't have time to be triggered.
Would you say that? Well, you got a lot of people saying hello for one. You got a lot of people, chiming in. Would you say that during that time that it was, like you said, there was a surge of people who came out in the dance that now are considered veterans of the dance? Actually, what do you think that there was something that contributed to that phenomenon of all of these people just kind of popping out all at once?
Yeah. So check this out. So you got Dre, and I think they came out in the early 90s, like 95 era, 94, 95 era. So then that was Step in the Name of Love. It was all in that era. So then you got to understand that when we came in, and I tell me about mine, class of 2005, we came in on hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So the music at the time was still vibrant to the music if you were still in the club or at the local tavern or down at the hidey hole, right? So if you was listening to Lil Kim Lighters Up, you can go over there to Mellow Chris at 3G's and get it cracking, okay? Right. That bring me back. So because the music was still young, I'm not saying they didn't play old school, but when I say that they played the music that was hot on the radio at that time, it was an easy transition. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna tell you another reason. So not only the music, but you had Dre. Everybody was young. You had Dre spinning like a spin top around that bitch. Excuse me. Can I curse? I'm sorry.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So you had Dre spinning around there. Then you got Dave Max. He teaching. You got Tick Man. He had just got out the first time. I ain't being shady, but that's the truth. So then you got him. Let me drink some water.
Come on now. Bring it.
But I'm not being shady. I'm telling you that's when I met him. So I'm giving y'all history. I'm not trying to be shady. Yeah. So anyway, so you had Tick. He was fresh out, and because he had fresh got out of penitentiary, I'm not going to hold you up. This is why I brought it up. Mm-hmm. When he first got out, Brian, this is what I heard. So I know it's going to tie into tonight, but this just hit me. When I was hanging out with Dre. I was hanging out with Dre and company. So I was Shelly, what's her name? Mercedes. Y'all remember her? Y'all remember them girls? Them girls could dance. Rest in peace, Shelly. So anyway, they took me to Dayton game. And all I heard was Tick Man got out. This is Legend and Steppin'. All I heard was Legend. Mm-hmm. So here I am at the Dayton games. I don't know no damn body, right? Well, I did know some. I knew Diamond Lou's sister, Precious. Anyway, I'm just connecting dots because that was my girl. Because she's the one that introduced me to Tick, actually. But anyway, so I'm sitting there watching. I'm waiting on this legend to come in, Brian. I'm waiting on the legend. I'm waiting on this old Negro from back in the 70s with an afro. Because I think he'd been in prison a long time. You know what I'm saying? I got my whole little... I'm thinking here, I don't know. So the whole night, I watched, Tick Man. I'm like, he can dance, right? I don't know no different because remember, I don't step yet. Right. So I don't know no difference in who's cold, who's a heavy hitter, I don't know none of it. They all look either this way or that way to me, right? So, which at that time was in sync or out of sync. That's how I looked at it because I was a ball woman. Mm-hmm. But I did not know that whole night that everybody bombarded the Dayton game to welcome this young man home as a legendary stepper, mm-hmm. that it was a young 34, 5-year-old Tick Man. What? Mm-hmm. Then I find out through my travels through stepping that Lil Mike and Lil Apple, those dudes were extremely young when they became legendary. Right. I think they said Lil Mike wasn't even 22. I think before he got killed, right. Or he was in his...
And to that point, and this is tying up a loose end for some people. To that point, a lot of people, and this is something that I've pointed out on this show repeatedly and in the past. A lot of people don't realize that the stepping phenomenon, the part of stepping itself, not dealing with the bop and everything that came before, but stepping was actually manifest by teenagers, by youngsters. So by the time those guys were considered to, in moving into their legend, they were actually a little older, but still young. So that's, people don't understand that by the time you was in your 20s, you had actually been doing this 10, 15 years damn near already.
Absolutely.
By the time you hit 30, you was already halfway in.
Right. According to Sam Chapman, he said that he used to do parties at a garage. Right. And those kids were 14, 30, right. They were coming over. So the stepping culture from what I came into, let's talk about it. It was young. Mm-hmm. So if you want to know why I came to stepping, I was young. They were young. I was single. They were single.
That'll do it.
Okay. You understand? Mind you, I'm not looking at my husband. Let's talk about it. Okay. But I'm just saying at the time, there was a lot of attractiveness. Not saying that it's not now, but it was young then. So I'm not going to hold you up. It's not as young as it was then. Okay. It's a little seasoned. But back in the day, the average stepper's age anywhere between 28 to, you know, 28 was probably the youngest you would see
Right.
stepping. You feel me? And I was like 35, so that was pretty much the average age in that parts that was coming out. Like class of 2005, what Shot Stepper called us. We were
Mm-hmm.
all in our 30s, mid to early
I
30s.
wanna, I wanna right quick. I wanna add a quick footnote because we wanna. You were talking. You mentioned the music earlier, and I think this is a perfect time to segue on that right quick. Um, and while we're talking about it right now, Marky G has chimed in and he made mention that he did do a song on in just to show you how legendary you are. And you know, we're gonna talk, y'all. I'm telling my audience we're going to discuss that word here very shortly, but I'm gonna use it now because people don't make music about you unless you've left an impact and a mark on this community. And Marky G has done a song that is in your honor. Also, you mentioned that the music during that time had hip hop in it, and there are people who think, for example, we've got people who have recently joined this dance that have this thing in their head where they think, we ain't playing certain music, old ass dusties, because it doesn't fit the narrative. When in fact, what people don't understand is that the music has always had a time where the current music has always been included. A lot of people don't know this, but even going back, and I know this to be a fact because I've actually got videotape from a set that I was at. Matter of fact, Donnie Davis was there as well. I keep saying I'm gonna bring that video out, but there was hip hop mixed into it. This was back in the early '90s, late '80s period. So there were people that were mixing music then, and nobody complained about it. Nobody made a separation, a differentiation between the two. The DJs understood their job. That's the difference.
Hmm.
You don't have to talk about what music should be played and shouldn't be played. A good DJ knows how to make it all work together without
Oh
having
my
to go
God.
through all of that.
Well, that's what happened in 95. I'm gonna tell you something. DJ Calvin is underrated. This dude
Oh no, yeah,
produces
you're right.
music.
I agree with that. Well,
The
all
producing,
right,
I'm talking about
yeah.
in terms of the
Get out.
producing part. This dude produces music. I
Mm-hmm.
think that the soundtrack of like two, three of my cycles came from Calvin. Like DJ Calvin was the anyway.
Still
Then you
is.
have
Look,
Mellow
quit playing.
Chris.
Still is. That's my dude
Oh,
right there. That's
absolutely.
that's one of the
I'm just
cats I
going
take
back
my
in my mind.
cues
I'm just
from.
going back in my mind. Then you had, don't forget my boy DJ Raphael. I mean, if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't DJ Raphael, it wouldn't be no Shine Entertainment. So, but there was DJ Vale, who else? Shorty Smooth, of course. Cross. You know that Cross? Did you know that Cross was how I discovered Cross? He was Dre's almost exclusive DJ. Did you know that?
Huh.
He was almost like DJ Kid Play for free, but only for Dre. You know, I had to rescue him from Dre. Sure did. He was over there getting paid pennies. You know what I'm talking
See
about?
there?
See? Thank you, Dre. But anyway,
See there? um,
so anyway, so let me just tell
Go
you. So
ahead.
I
Come
went
on.
to Marvin, so I did privates because I got ADHD and ADD and all kind. I can't ask or track. So I had to take privates with Lady Marvin. So I took 6 privates with her every week. And we were dancing on carpet. Let me tell you something. She was a spin top. Let's just talk about it. This girl, I could watch Margaret at that time. When I tell you, everybody got a prime. I'm sure she's still in a prime now. I'm talking about back in the day. I'm talking about she was prime in
Mm-hmm.
my mind. This girl could spin on a dime and shake it off like it's nothing. I'm like, how did she do that? I'm talking about Dre spent her 70 million times. I watched it. I
Mm-hmm.
counted it. Okay. Woke up, they were still spinning. And she came out of it like, what? I'm like, I want to do that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there I go with my manifestation. Right. I don't think I nailed her, but I think I got close to the spinning, but she's cold with it. So watching her, that's an inspiration. So after those 6 classes, this is what being with the 3 I told you about, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Dre, the Margaret, and Tick. Now everybody want to try me out. This is the culture. This was what's going on back in the day. Everybody want to try you out.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to let me see what they teaching you over there on South Side. So I'm over there with Heavy. Y'all know about Heavy on the West Side.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his brother name? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's a good instructor. I'm drinking. But anyway, Heavy and his brother, they was on the West Side teacher. Well, everybody know his brother. So please, somebody put in the comments so I don't have a brain fart all night. Please tell me what Heavy on the West Side and his brother Nanny used to teach on the West Side with Keisha. Please, back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So going over there, going even to the west side, like the south side, west side division, like I didn't see that because they was making me go over there. You hear me?
Right.
I think that people probably thought that Tick Man lived over there the way he was over at the Pound.
I think the west side, south side division kind of started to fall away during that period that you're talking about, because before that, you know, from 70s to 80s, we didn't really transfer that much. I started going to the Rose and Brothers Palace back in the 80s myself, like in the mid 80s. About the mid 80s. So yeah, that's around the time I think things started to kind of where it didn't matter no more. Because before that, you was dealing more with gang rivalry, stuff like that. You know, that kind of stuff.
Plus we had the 939. So let me tell you, west side
somebody
was lit.
said
They had the
Otis,
930.
so you know Otis Jefferson.
Otis, that's it. To everybody tell Otis, I said hi. I didn't mean to forget his name. He's a great instructor. He's a great person. I'm sorry. So anyway, going over to the Pine with the three amigos, as I call them, you get a lot of attention. So I know that somebody can relate to this when people want to try you out on the floor. So that made me get good, I guess you could say, very quickly, because I'm being challenged 3-4 times a night. So let's get to the crackhead part that I was. Okay. So I became a stepping crackhead. Let's talk about it. This should be part 2 into the that's part 2 of the interview, right? So I couldn't get enough. Why? Because the music was hot. Listen, Someplace Else. Hey, can I get a thumbs up if anybody remembers Someplace Else? Let's give it up for Someplace Else. Okay. Okay. So Raphael is playing. Listen, when I tell you the music, I don't know how to explain it, but they would have, like you said, there was a good blend with the club. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm talking about club.
DJ Calvin in the building. What's happening, my man? We just talking
about
you, brother.
Calvin, that's my dude. Listen here, I'm gonna say it again, Calvin. Listen to me carefully. I need you to go and call one of those people so you can get your producing contract or something, because you really are, the world's missing out. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let it go out. I'm gonna let it go. I didn't say it for 15, 20 years now. So I've been in the game. It'll be 20 years next year. So I ain't gonna keep saying the same thing, Calvin. I mean, you're getting better and better. Can the world? Anyway, selfishness. But anyway, so anyhow, what was I saying as I'm smart? What was I saying before that?
We was look. There you go with the ADHD. Okay, look. You were saying
anybody talked to me long enough.
Everybody wanted to try you out.
Oh no, I know what
test
saying.
That water.
Huh?
You said everybody wanted to test the water. They wanted to try you out.
I was talking about 939. Hold on. I was talking about the 939. So going to the west side, 939 was like, how can I put it? You had to know somebody going there. Okay, it wasn't like that place you wanted to hang out. So Claudel was going over, like a lot of stuff. Dre was taking his butt over there. But how I got my little entry was not through the Three Amigos though. They had left me one night. It was through Weasel. Rest in peace, Weasel. Yeah, he was the DJ over there. Rest in peace. He was cold-blooded. Oh my God. So these club DJs, that's what I'm talking about, the club DJs. So club DJs blended or did things differently than a set, right? And class of 2005, guess what we were mostly? We were mostly club steppers. To the point that Shy Stepper even had a category. Hottest, female stepper in the club. Hottest male. I mean, come on now.
Hold on. I want you right quick. See, when you mention stuff like that, we kind of got to stop just a little bit, because I have to inform those in this community who are not familiar with Shy Stepper. Now, for those of you who don't know, ShyStepper.com was a very pivotal and important publication about stepping that precedes Inside Stepping and many other forms of notification about the Steppers community. Shy Stepper was the premier place to get your information from. And you were a writer for Shy Stepper, right?
I was.
Yeah, we're going to get into that, but go ahead and finish your story. We're going to talk about that some more too.
Yeah. So anyway, I would go into the 939, and the music in the 939 really dictated what was in that neighborhood. It was grimy, gangster, good. You saw Negroes getting it. Listen here. I can't even say what I need to say over here. I saw some of the best dance. I saw Pimp JoJo. I saw like so many people just doing their thing. And it's 2 a.m.
Don't forget to clarify, and this is something, because this is one of the things that I point out on here all the time to people. There are people in Chicago who step that are cold. But if you don't come to Chicago and you're not in these spots, you will never see them. Some of the coldest people you ever want to see hit the floor.
Absolutely. Let me give a shout out to one of them, Real Old Terrell Griggs. Go ahead and look him up on Facebook. That Negro can dance. Liz, please do me a favor. Tell him, Sunshine said to ask you to dance. So you can call and cuss me out because he need to call me and the nigga ain't call me back. But anyway, I digress. So that era though, when I was coming, I'm saying that a lot of us traveled to the West Side because of the music, because like the energy. We was hungry, like Dwayne Salisbury was. But you would see Dwayne. I don't even know what side of town he lived on. He was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We was just chasing the dance.
Now, ain't that
and the
something?
DJs definitely had a lot to do with it.
It's amazing to me, and this is, that the dance itself, and like many of my counterparts and those who came a few years ahead of me, if you had told us that this dance was going to be to the point where people was chasing it, like you saying, we'd have told you was crazy. We would have.
Oh my God!
Laughed in your
How
face.
about I had that conversation with Kim Bowie in the parking lot of Club Karma?
See, nobody would have believed this.
I called Dex, but I was letting them have it. Why did y'all write this down? Why did y'all patent this? Why did you do it? He just was like, "What do you?" I was just berating him with, "Why y'all didn't do this? Why?"
Mm-hmm. It's the absolute truth. A lot of us, people who were in that circle, so to speak, in that loop, was trying to really distance themselves. When we got older, we were trying to distance ourselves from the lifestyles that dictated, the culture that we was involved in. Some of us, of course, stayed in the game. You know what I mean? It was still, doing street things. Hell, I was trying to get up out of there. I was trying to do other things. You got people like Josiah Byrd, he joined the military. You got people who literally was trying. And if you had told any of us that 30 years from now, stepping is actually going to be a thing with the potential to be a global dance, we would have laughed in your face.
Right.
Period.
That's why I think that people, and I know there was other folks that were catalysts to the dance is spreading, but I'm just saying that video opened up the floodgate. It was professionally shot video of a dance that is a darling to a city that we ain't in. That's a big deal. You feel me? And that opened the door. So anyway, after that, of course, chasing the dance, again, we all clubbed. So being at Shy Stepper, so Shy Stepper actually launched. I'm going to tell you when Shy Stepper launched.
Yeah, talk to me about that. Let's talk about that. Okay.
So I had started dancing, like, I want to say it was August. It had to be maybe, I can't remember, but it was the year before. But in 2006, April 2006, I remember that Shy Stepper launched. T. Pratt was a part of Dre Company, and he was passing out the flyers at the 50-yard line. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this, blasey, help me out," and share the car. So I did more than that. I was like, "Yo, I can write. I got a brain. Hey." So yeah, so he took a chance, and thank you, T. Pratt, T-Bat. We used to call him back in the day. Me and Hope used to ride his ass. Oh my God, Shy Stepper used to be so much fun. I used to roast the hell out of Dre and T-Bat when they used to get on my nerves. Yeah, I wish y'all can go and get the little like archives so you can see me tearing their asses up. I was funny. I was Kevin Hart before Kevin Hart, but I digress. So anyway, Shy Stepper was the first, like, you had Steppers USA, you had other platforms. But Shy Stepper was like the hip hop version of all the other platforms that was out at the time.
Okay.
That makes, like, if you wanted to know, if you was like a, you know what I'm saying?
The cutting edge. It was on the edge of everything. It was the cutting edge of the information. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's funny you said cutting edge because it did lead to a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, y'all. But so I became a writer, and let me tell you, and this is crazy because the first article that I wrote for Shy Stepper was called "How the Fuck Do You Come Out?" Oh yes. Oh, you listen. If there had been a shade room back there, oh, I would have went viral. You hear me? They was tearing my ass up. Howsomever, the person with the pen on the internet got more power than the last person that spoke.
Ooh-wee.
So we had a conversation. It went on for weeks.
I'm sure it did, because
that
at that time there was
right?
nobody really being vocal about the things that were taking place in the community and how it was beginning to grow, because a lot of people don't really understand that even at that time it was in a form of infancy, that where all of the growing pains had to start taking place, and you were directly involved in that.
Absolutely. 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 were trying times as it related to my tenure at Shy Stepper, right? And I'm talking about in terms of accountability. For instance, on Facebook, you got to put your full name, okay? But not on Shy Stepper. Oh, no, not at the beginning. At the beginning, they had usernames like fuck Sunshine. Sunshine ain't shit. Like, wait.
They had whole usernames directed at you. Right quick, before you continue, DJ Vale said, thank you, Sunshine, for giving me a shot. The DJ life. Come on.
Oh, my God. Come
look,
on
look,
now,
I'm going to do
Vale.
your number.
Listen,
I ain't going to hold you. Come on, bring the rest of that story you talk about.
Let me say this to Vale, though. I've been hearing he is cold-blooded now.
Vale
and I'm
sick
tell
with
you
it, man. I love Vale.
That's what
Don't
I've been
play
hearing.
no games.
That's what I've been hearing. So anyway, so the floodgate that came with that article was I ripped the Band-Aid off because I had described things that were way too close to home to a lot of us, right? But it was my observation because I was such a crackhead for the dance. I'm like, y'all fucking the dance up with all this bullshit.
Right.
Like,
Now, you were new in the game pretty much, and even you saw that at the time.
It was felt. Let me tell you something. I would be at the 50-yard line. I hope class of 2005 show up and back me up on this bullshit here. And it's funny now because, it was part of the growing pains. I see the outcome of it, so it's okay to talk about it now. But anyway, there will be times you go to the 50-yard line and some of those people that are seasoned, I'm going to say that for now. I'm not going to give nobody no name. I'm going to say seasoned, right? Dance, right? They'll be counting your feet. You know how intimidating that is? Motherfuckers watching your goddamn count your feet. You can't even count at this point. What? That's intimidating. We had to go. I'm like, listen here. I think they were in a very sensitive state with stepping right now. Everybody's so goddamn sensitive because back in the day, only the strong survive.
Facts. That's right. And that's the way it was from the very beginning. You either had it or you didn't.
This here, Chicago. I don't know what I'm out of towner now, so I know the out of towner they babies. I promise you. No, I used to tell people in Florida, no, you gotta get slapped around hitting the bottle in the back of your head or something. Before you get a good rhythm.
See there.
But anyway, so during that time too, the Shy Stepper was allowing other people, not just me, but it was a whole platform of people vocalizing what they were going through. So you have what we call forums at the time, which now they call them posts, right? So you had all these posts. Some of them was just, listen here, I'm gonna just slide this in, but I remember somebody was messy, because so let me say this. I gotta make this point. See, it's funny now what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is very funny. I'm gonna tell you why.
Now.
We were in our 30s. We were in our 30s and our 20s. Let me say that again. What I'm about to say, we were young and tender. I don't care what y'all think. We were tender, okay? We were tender. All right? So, it sounds crazy if the same shit is going on now. But back in the day, this is a funny story. So let me say, because you know why? Because at a certain age, you got grandkids and great-grands. You need to stop your bullshit. I digress. So let's move on. So I'm on Shy Stepper, and next thing you know, somebody messy, and they decide, this is how funny and messy this was. They decided to do an article about the ticketeers. The ticketeers.
The ticketeers.
So all the women that they thought he had slept with, danced with too long,
so
had a baby by, whatever.
Hold on. Let's clarify. You called them the ticketeers, and those are
no. They called us. No, it was an article. No. This is how cold-blooded Shy Stepper. You can be very creative. Like listen here. Some of the best writers were on Shy Stepper, and it wasn't just me.
Okay, come on.
So they had this somebody had wrote this post, and they were talking about the ticketeers. Literally, they named all the people that he's ever been affiliated with, or any female, and we all had different names. I ain't gonna mention no names but mine, but I got off easy. They called me the blind rat. Get it? Ticketeers. We were all rats. It was hilarious. Listen, I was dying laughing. It's funny, but I don't think it's funny if you in your 50s doing it now. Knock the shit off. But back in the day, it was just good fun. But here's another thing that did, though, even though that sounds silly, is funny. It released steam that had not been released yet. I'm gonna say that again. You could feel the grumblings. It was so much backbiting and backstabbing and old school versus new school and who that bitch is, a new girl versus the old girl and the girl. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Damn it, boy.
That was now here, mind you, it was a more good times than it was bad, but the bad, oh, you can feel it.
So the bad
Oh,
was
you can
bad.
feel it. Yeah, so the new schoolers started linking up. You know what I'm saying? We started, that's why we the class of 2005. You know, y'all don't want to dance with us, we dance with ourselves then.
Right.
Okay. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. There were a significant amount of old schoolers that understood their position as ambassadors. I'm gonna say it like that. That danced with us. Okay. Claudel was one of them. Danced with all the beginners. Okay. It's just turn. We over about to break our goddamn neck trying to hold up with Claudel.
Okay,
Oh,
now
my
listen.
God.
Hold on. I just want you to stop just for 1 second for me. I want my audience to understand this is a very important segment right here that you guys really need to listen to. And the reason why is because what she's about to do is tied together. We often wonder why old school, or should I say original and new school, have such a division, why there's always a rift. She's about to give y'all the game about how this happened, which will also help us be able to correct some of the problems that we have today. Now, go ahead. Drop it down.
Well, let me say this too. This is my point of view. This doesn't make it true. This is from my point of view, my perspective. No one else's. This is from what I saw. Because I was on shystepper.com, I get to see a lot. I ain't gonna hold you up. Okay.
Come on.
That's when I first started realizing not the paparazzi, but I never like little stuff that I was doing. You know, I'm not a person that look for fame or look for somebody's approval.
Right.
Like I'm a Leo.
You're
like I ride 10 toes down by my damn self. Okay. But Shy Stepper, that I didn't realize what Shy Stepper had did. It had really opened up a gate for me to go in and be able to talk to a lot of legends, rest in peace to most of
There's
them.
that word again.
And a lot of icons. Okay. And a lot of popular upcoming people and all the things in between, right? Because everybody wanted, you know, talk to Sunshine from Shy Stepper. So that was my name. Sunshine from Shy Stepper in the house. What? I ain't even getting paid for this job. That's some bullshit. I got labor. Free fucking job. What? But I enjoyed it. I had the shirt on. I was wearing a shirt. I was proud to be a shystepper.com girl, right? And also Gary. I mean, I got to tell you, so I can't take all the credit. Gary, thank you. Tell the producer lady, thank you.
Okay.
You're keeping me on point. So, Gary, I can't think his last name, but he was in Dre and Company. He was another writer on that, on Shy Stepper that kept the shit going. It was giggles and gags. You hear me? Good giggles, because if we didn't talk about it, let me tell you how crazy it was. I believe had Shy Stepper not came into play, the movement of the dance wouldn't have moved to new school at all. I said it.
Okay.
You know why? Because it was media. It was press.
Right.
We gave voices to new DJs. Okay? We were in there talking about our club night. Not talking about, even though, rest in peace to my boy Steve Breeze. We knew them already. We knew the Sam Chapmans, but the people didn't know Raphael was getting it down on a Wednesday night.
Right.
What? That's where Shy Stepper came in. When you went to Atlanta, you knew, because of Shy Stepper, where Shy Stepper's going to be at. You know, like, it really did bridge and connect the happening hip-hop, younger energy. That's how I want to say it. That's what Shy Stepper did. You know why? Because Dre, in my opinion, this is spiritual talk, and you know, I'm a spiritual girl. We'll get into it. So Dre and T Pratt were great friends. So it would make sense that they have. Look at them now. Their synergy made that happen.
Yeah.
Somebody got to give them credit now. All right. I'm not taking away from nobody else. I'm just talking about my perspective as a new schooler. Okay.
Right.
If I miss something, put it in the comments and I'll talk about it. If you want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it. All right. So as as it got more and more popular, he had to change bandwidth. Like, it was crazy like that. Shy Stepper got huge. It became internationally like known. Okay.
And for that time,
and it was
that
known,
was a huge thing.
It was. Listen, it was huge. And then, you know, here come the naysayer. It's because it's negative. You know, we were the first, you know, Wendy Williams, you know, if you will, you know, or the first Shade Room. See, if he'd have did it now, he'd have, you know, all you got to wait is for time. All you got to do is wait for times to change. Because Shy Stepper was really like the shade room for venting for steppers.
Dig that.
So now the thing about it, you would think of all that shit talking the whole day about who gonna do what and talking about ticketeers and you a blind rat and you a super rat, blah blah blah. You would think that it would go up at the club. Nope, they ain't gonna bust a grape. Most of them didn't bust a grape. Nope, I was the only one wanting to fight. But that was when I was younger. That was when I was younger. I'm delivered. I'm delivered now. I don't even do that.
Would you say you was the only one wanting to fight? So
but
bridging the gap.
I think what I'm saying is that it started becoming where people had to be more transparent and more accountable because Shy Stepper would tag your ass the next day. You was caught slipping on a Tuesday, or you were getting rolled up on Wednesday on Shy Stepper. Okay, you didn't get no hall passes, none. Anybody remember Shy Stepper? Does anybody remember it but me? Oh, it's the great times.
Oh, well, see, here's the thing. Because of so much, I think that the media of stepping has closed so many gaps for so many people. There are a lot of people who are actually, I think, very sensitive to this. And a lot of people have fallen by the wayside because of it, because of the sometimes unwanted recognition and some of the things that come up and come out. But I want you to, right quick, before we go into the next part of that, explain your perspective, of course, how the difference between the original dancers and the new school coming into the game, where that sort of divide began to, where the crack started coming in and creating a little bit of a divide that we still unfortunately suffer from.
Yep. So during that time, you had a lot of instructors teaching in clubs. I'm gonna say that again. Club DJs play differently than set DJs.
Yeah.
Now, if you 35 and you've been listening to Juvenile and the Hot Boys, in the 90s,
right,
you ain't gonna get too much conversion to, let's say, an old dusty like Smokey Robinson, not right off the rip. You gotta reel them in, right? And those DJs, they did a great blend of introducing us to oldies with that, right?
Right.
So as that started happening, you can the music would change. When the music changed, the damn floor would change.
Okay.
Are you listening?
Which was traditional in stepping anyway, because if you go back in history, there was a period where there would be guys in the room who stepped, but the sets generally were music. And the minute they put on, you hear that JBs come on, that it was like an anthem.
Oh yeah, get out of the way.
Clear, and the other steppers will come in. So it's very much kind of the same thing. The crowd would shift.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you start seeing a lot of that. So here's the contest. So now there used to be a time when when the contest was 40 and up. Okay. It was like 39 and under and 40 up. Are you listening to how young that says something right there? I just said something right there. If you listen to what I said, the division of even how they did the contest was in the 30s and the 40 range, right? So when you think about that, a lot of us during that time, when we started turning 40, all you can hear is people saying, "I'm not gonna dance and compete against Dre. He's 40, but he's still around here twirling," And they've been doing old school. So they had changed it to old school versus new school instead of the age. Because even when we turned 40, we would still spin around. You understand? So our method of dancing was different at that moment, at that time, where we were incorporating spinning. Dre had put him and Margaret is phenomenal. I think it was 2005, 2006, 2005 World Largest, where they did a salsa move. So the music started dictating how much they could creatively do in that dance. You feeling me? That started separating old school versus new school in the way it looked all together now. So old school was like, all y'all do is spin. All y'all do is spin and turn. I couldn't say that because I had no footwear. I'm like, all y'all do is stomp on ropes.
I'm guilty as one of those. Like, okay, when y'all gonna start dancing?
Right. That's you heard that all the time, and that became. And then you had the mean. Oh my God. So then, I'm trying to figure out how I can say this. So then the wave of all the instructors I just told you about, it started getting less because they started going out of town. doing workshops.
Dig that. Mm-hmm.
So now the leftover instructors are getting a bigger crowd. So boom, now they doing things at the club still.
Mm-hmm.
Still dictating a different kind of energy. We still went to the big sets. I went to like Steve Breeze. I went to a Majestic. We still went, but that wasn't like my thing. If I had to do a ratio, I'd probably go to a set once or twice a month, a big set. But I went to the club 5 days a week because
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was a crackhead at the time. I was addicted to it, something terrible. So that had a lot to do with the contest. Had a lot to do with moving things forward as well. It made a big distinction. I don't even know. I'm not. I didn't talk to Pete about it, which, by the way, thank you, Pete, for giving me the help and the knowledge that you gave me to start Shine Entertainment, because that's the dude that helped me to become Shine Entertainment. Okay, yeah, Pete, Fred, they should put us together. It's so funny. They used to pit us together. Can you believe that? How you gonna pit me and my influence together? Y'all didn't even know. That's so crazy. Oh my God. But anyway, so that contest had a lot to do with it too, because now you're looking at, he changed it from, it's not 40 and up now, because we all turning 40 now, right? To it's old school versus new school.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I felt shifted some things too.
Now-
Because now when
Right quick. I don't want to keep stopping you because you're on a roll, but I have to put little bookmarks in there right quick for my audience. Now, how many times have y'all heard me say on this show, for those of you who follow this show, the old school, new school phenomena only started because of the contest. Now, you heard what she just said. There was no old school, new school. That was a designation based on a particular set of things that took place, criteria in the contest. All you have, technically, is the original dance and the new school, which basically new school and old school are the same, except for a few subtle differences.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all understand, there is a difference between original and old school, new school, which is basically the same, except for a particular set of rules created by
the
Pete
world's
Frazier
largest.
for the world's
Pete
largest.
Frazier.
Okay, now carry on.
Yeah. So now, so check this out. So that was some problems right there, because I'm telling you, I'm not speaking for nobody, but I heard some rumblings. Ain't nobody finna dance with Dre and Tick. They in their 50s or 60s. They not finna do all. They not.
They wasn't
not.
that old back
And
then.
that
Shit, they
caused
ain't
a
that old
problem.
now.
Huh?
I said they wasn't that old back then. They ain't that old now. Hell.
No, it was some 55-year-ups. I heard talking.
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah. It was some back then, but I'm
they
saying.
wasn't capping.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. They wasn't trying to spin like no top like Dre. He still, you know, he running around there like he 12 still at 40. You feel me?
He
So
still running around like he's 12. Quit playing.
You know, he wears size 2T, but anyway, I digress. So you can tell that's my boy. Y'all can tell that's 20
God.
years in. Okay, that's that 20-year friendship.
See
Okay,
that?
get into it. Mm-hmm. So anyhow, so now this is this is my perspective when I first saw the bullshit with disregard or disrespect or energy started shifting. It's at the contest when we would go and they would, not we, but I would go over there because I knew they was gonna have a party, you know, because everybody picking up their check. So no matter where, if Pete said, okay, meet them at Mr. G's to pick up the check, we go to Mr. G's. Meet us at club, wherever he's going. But always, every single time that the old schoolers, and this is my perspective, argue with your mama. I'm not gonna argue with you. I would see us with video cameras at this point, right? Videotaping all they footwear. We're like, oh my God. I mean, they going to work like, listen to me. Ty, Skippy, Celeste, they only came out to win the contest, so you only saw them once a year.
So you better videotape
video out. Right. Because we ain't going to see them to the next contest they win, right? So we give them, I mean, literally, all you see, they paparazzis on these people as they're doing, because, you know, the music is dictating their era. They going back to when they was 12, you know, they spinning around, all that good stuff. Now, they switch the music to Nate Dogg and Snoop Dogg. They outside on smoke break. They went to church. They went to the NA meeting. They ain't got time to watch us do no goddamn spinning, no damn twirling. Okay.
So in other words,
y'all
was showing, they're paying homage to them, but they wasn't showing y'all no love.
Oh no, all that goddamn spinning. So like I said, I'm gonna keep using Kim Boy as my example because that's who I used to argue with all the time, and I love arguing because he's a funny dude. But he was giving me history lessons on where this, you know, where is this going on. I'm like, yo, we are evolving. Why y'all keep thinking that we're not y'all age and we didn't come in at 12. I can from Detroit, the ballroom, a little sauce, a little bachata, but not no stepping.
Mm-hmm.
So the respect started decreasing because I feel as though the movement, because of Shy Stepper and all the meeting, remember, he got the final say, so mighty is pen the sword,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's what drove it. I don't think people really realize that really drove new school into a space where it was a club takeover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mind you, when the old schoolers came out, like, let's say Tony Dow will come out. We moving out the way. Claudio come out. We moving out the way. We gave them love, lots of it. Not saying that it's all old school, because it's like people like Susu. There was a lot of folks that gave us love. Dimples, old school Herc, all of them. But there were some people that were, I'm gonna say what I need to say. They want to be legends that were really shitty. I'm gonna just talk about it. I ain't gonna mention no names.
We're gonna get on that. Before we get to the legend conversation, though, I want to address something. And this is about to be a mind blower for a lot of people tonight that are watching this show. It is a fact. Now, y'all listen to me. Pay very close attention. It is a fact that this young lady before you, Miss Sunshine Haywood, is the individual who coined the phrase heavy hitter. Sunshine, let's talk about that.
So, a writer as Shy Stepper, trying to use big words. And I don't know if I was talking to, Terrence. I was talking to people. I was talking to a dude because we were talking about sports. So I knew that was a term that was said about a sports team at the time. I'm like, oh, that's kind of like, and at the time, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. It made me say it. I was only talking about two individuals, but I ain't gonna mention their name because I'm gonna start some trouble. So I ain't gonna mention that. But it was two individuals. But if I say this, people will know if you was there. So if you was there, you was there. If you wasn't, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it another day. So back in the day, they had this contest called Clash of the Titans. Ooh. You had to be there. Okay. And it was two heavy hitters up against, okay, the heavy of the heavies. Okay. If you was there, y'all know who I'm talking about. Now those two, I would consider them legends for sure. Sure would. Oh, one of them for sure. Oh Lord, they almost idol worship one of them. Lord.
See, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little idol worshiping. Not for me though. But anyway, but that during that time though, that term came to describe someone who was phenomenal every time, just never missed. Steph Curry. I should have said Steph Curry, but Steph Curry wasn't. I don't even think he was born at the time. No, he was a little kid. But it was a Steph Curry move. Like they never missed. Like every time they hit the floor, you knew you was gonna see the best. Speaking of the best, does anybody besides me remember the loose shoes contest? Is her shoes still loose? Did anybody find that lady?
Andre Blackwell said, "Name names. Quit playing." Look.
Oh my God. Well, Dre, I already brought you up. Oh, let me give a shout out. I got to give a shout out to my girl, Linda Frazier. Linda Frazier, I want to thank you for putting up with me talking to your husband for endless hours and hours as I was trying to build my dynasty with Shine Entertainment and all them weird ass women. I was trying to screw your husband. So this is the kind of gossip that really, this is weird. And here's the thing. I'm so glad that you stayed solid. Listen here. Thank you. I'm telling you, those was messy times. Like I told you, you couldn't have been, you couldn't do nothing. If you talk to a man too long, they fucking, what is going on? Oh, y'all so pretty occupied. What sex? And I still hear still going on 20 years later. Remember that song, 20 years
like you said
later?
Earlier,
yeah.
Some things ain't changed.
Right, and it's still going on. So sex sells, though. I get it. Here's the thing. I get it because sex sells. We live in a world that's programmed that. Please don't forget it. I didn't make up the rules. This is not my fact. Argue with your mama, argue with the CIA. But sex sells.
Period.
Okay? Even when you think they ain't selling sex, it's something, a thousand, but something weird in the background. That's right. What they do to us. So that carries on. You think it stopped when we got to stepping community?
No.
Oh, no.
Stepping community is nothing but a microcosm of a macro world. That's all.
Absolutely.
So what are your feelings today on the loose use of the term heavy hitter? Oh, look at the kitty cat. You got a fur friend back there.
That's my boo. Um, Hi Black Panthers. Everybody say hi to Black Panther. Bye. All right. You know what? I really don't think much about it because just like a lot of things, the word love get loosely moved.
Yeah.
Look how they throw Jesus' name around. So I can't worry about that. But but I will say this. I will say this. I think it should be at some point a conversation among instructors
Mm.
to their students,
Hmm.
right? This is where it starts. This is where it starts in the classroom, in the instruction place
Absolutely.
of what these terminologies mean. What does that mean to you as a dancer, to your feet? You understand, or to your
Hmm.
experience? That's really what it comes down to. It comes down to experience, right?
Right.
And you look at somebody with 20 years experience. Yeah, I remember people like, hey, she can do this and this and that. Look at you. Well, I only been dancing 20 minutes. You've been dancing 20 years. You should be called. What the fuck is you bothering me for?
Yeah.
So you feel me? But that again comes to the word legendary. People as they get older in the game, they get seasoned, they should be ambassadors to keep going. And at that time, Dre was a wonderful ambassador. Marty was wonderful ambassador. A heavy and
Yes.
oldest. I can go on and on and on. The West Side, like I taught one class on the West Side. I'm not even drinking, but I just had a little throwback. I missed cycle. What was that cycle? Oh my God, Honey, where's Honey Swine? Somebody asked her what cycle she was in. That's what cycle she was in. She's part of Shine Taylor. Yeah,
Now look,
yeah. What's up, Honey? She's a pretty. I love her now. I just call her Honey Mori.
before we go further, because I want to shift gears, because me and you will talk all doggone night. You know how we do. But what I love about this, and this is the reason why this interview is so really pivotal and important, especially not only to Inside Stepping, but to the community at large, which is why we do what we do, because there's a lot of information to be gained from this. Um, I want to mention, let me give a special shout out to DJ J Boogie, who I had a conversation with, he loved him some sunshine. So,
Listen here, I was gonna get to him. I was getting to it. I was
okay.
getting to the Shine Entertainment part.
Okay, well, come on.
What's up, Jay Boogie? Jay Boogie, that's my army buddy. Look here, hoorah! Listen here. Okay, you cannot fuck around with people from the military. Don't play.
Yeah, that's
Don't
right.
Play. We have praise.
He has nothing but high praises for you and all that you've done in regard to the community itself. Now, I want to talk about. Let's go back to the legend conversation, which is the real meat of this show tonight.
Yeah.
I have begun to take exception to individuals because of what we do here at Inside Stepping. It has become, unfortunately, normal for people to approach us and use this term legend so easily and refer to themselves. Before I go far into this, I want to say, I got one thing to say about this. In terms, let's just define what a legend is. I'm gonna let you define it because I know you got the definition.
I have it right here.
But I want to be clear about something. Legends are not self-appointed. Legends are bestowed upon you. The status of legend is bestowed upon you by your peers and those who respect what you do and who know who you are.
Can we talk about
We're
it?
going to talk about it. The legendary status is reserved for people who have made contributions, people who have left a mark or a legacy that is one that others continue to discuss long down the road.
And make up legendary stories that could be true or no true, and nobody even tries to disprove. Let's talk about little Alfred. Right now, I feel like he's a fairy with wings and can fly. I mean, this man is just the bomb. Like, and nobody's even disputing that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a legend. This man's legend. He's the legend. I have never been. You understand? I came in the game. The first person I heard was, anybody got little behind their name or ice? Let's just talk about it. Can we talk?
Especially in this community, right?
Right. So yeah, so I know what a legend is.
Tell us about legends.
I don't.
Come on,
the
come on.
self-appointed part that counsels you from being a legend. Literally that counsels you.
Ain't
from
that
being a
something?
legend.
Isn't that ironic that they don't know
It is
that
ironic.
if you
Why? Because a
call
legend
yourself
is a
that, it
person that
cancels
is
it out?
people admire, like you said, and their accomplishments.
Give
Okay.
us the definition of a legend.
Okay. A legend is a person who is very famous and admired, often for their accomplishment or influence in a particular area. Let me give you the other one. A legend is someone who leaves behind an unforgettable impression on others. They touch lives, they're remembered, they're cherished. There are all sorts of legends in this world, famous or not. I like that part. Becoming one means finding your particular role, your calling, your following in it, and touching others around you. Let's talk
Mm.
about it. Let's talk about it.
And you
Yes,
should be
give it up
well
for
liked.
spiritual. That part. That part. That part. And did you know that a female legend is called a heroine?
Is that right? Now, I did not know
Mm-hmm.
that. Very interesting.
So
Now,
there's, let me tell you though, I will say this: there are more icons on that set than there are legends in the
now let's
definition of the
differentiate
word.
between the two. I'm glad you brought that up because I do believe we do have a lot of iconic individuals on the set. I think legend is a stretch for many. Icon is a better term. Tell us about it.
So according to, I love AI on Google. That's my people right there. That's my people. The difference between a legend and an icon depends on the context, but generally, a legend is a person who has achieved a certain level of success over a period of time, while an icon is someone who's widely admired for their influence and significance regardless of time.
Mm-hmm. Now,
That's like your influence. That's like your one hit with, your one hit wonder.
right,
That's an icon.
right,
Like Ice Spice, or Sexy Red.
right.
Icon of trash. Get it? But anyway, I digress. I digress.
So you can
I
also be
digress.
an iconic piece of trash. Now, be careful what
That's
you
my
are
point.
recognized for.
Yeah.
Got to be careful. Some folks, just because you getting recognition don't mean it's all good. But
Absolutely. Oh, here's another thing. It says with legends that's 10 or more, won, like it says, like you won the of the year multiple times. You're probably one of those top. This is based on ballroom. It says this is a ballroom definition of legend. Can I use that as a loose little
Mm-hmm.
thing? It says in ballroom with legends that's 10 years or more, you've won of the year multiple times, and you're probably one of the top 10 contenders for your category. Then there's icon, which is like 20 years, but you've done more than just things in your category.
No.
So legends are true to one specific thing. Does that make sense? That's based on that. Feel me? So right now, I think that there's nothing wrong with being an icon.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're still influential, but to self-appoint yourself anything is super weird. I don't know why we're doing that. Would y'all please stop?
Well,
Y'all got
I
grandkids.
remember when while Irie was doing Stepaganza, I've heard of occasions where people literally were offended because they had not been recognized in those legendary awards.
Okay,
And
can I say something?
go
Let me
ahead.
just say this. Let me
Come on.
just say that. And I am not calling nobody in particular, but this is a joke and a gag, and it is shade, and I just gotta get it out. I have been to those awards, and some of the people I don't even know. Like, where does these people come from? Can we move on?
Yeah. I mean, well, I've heard of people actually, again, my thing is if you have to ask to be recognized, do you really
That's
deserve to
problem.
be recognized? Again, it goes like
Nope.
what you said a minute ago. Doesn't it cancel out? Like, doesn't that cancel out the status that you, because
Yep.
again, I think I just don't understand where people in their own head feel like there's something that nobody else recognizes them as. Don't get me wrong. I believe people should know their worth. I ain't saying don't know your worth. But at the same time,
Shit, yeah.
what have you done that makes everybody speak about you positively on a regular basis and even want to drop your name?
Very true.
Well,
Very true.
some people use
You know,
it
I think the
as...
dealer gives you a good example. He was a legend until what? Now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got some people who would like to use the legend status as a form of, guess what? Currency.
Absolutely.
Clout, influence, power,
Manipulation.
control,
Mhm.
pull,
Yeah.
leverage. And again, if you either have it or you don't. And at the end of the day,
And you know the thing about habit, do you know that a celebrity don't make themselves? People give them that title. You cannot make yourself a celebrity. People make you celebrity, but what? Keep talking
the
about
only
you.
reason people trust The United States dollar is because the perception is that it has value. And that is given by the masses. Without it,
Yeah.
without that confidence in that dollar to be valuable, it is a piece of paper.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Without the people,
Nobody's here for it. Yep.
you have nothing. Without the people, inside stepping does not exist. Without the people, the DJs don't play the music. The instructors don't teach the dance. The promoters don't put on the parties. Without the people and their approval of you or whatever it is that you contribute to this dance, you have nothing, including legendary status.
Absolutely.
All right.
Which brings me to a point about like another thing that was going on was it was like loose shoes contest was basically a way of someone trying to overthrow Pete and what he got going. As you know, we still thriving with Pete, right? But that even though that was, you know, her intentions, and it failed, by the way. But I was there, Linda. This is where Linda come in. I was there that night when all of these amazing dancer, iconic dancer, legendary dancers went on that stage and cut up. Do you hear me? The loose shoe contest, it was amazing. It was a free for all because I think she didn't have many rules, so people went to work in there. I'm not gonna hold you up. And the reason why I brought up Linda is because I wouldn't go on stage. She came over there to try to convince me. I'm like, absolutely not. Pour me a drink. So I was known as the queen of prelims. I became the queen of prelims because I would never go to contest. And then when I did go to contest, well, look, see. see?
Yeah.
Just stayed in the prelim. See, where's Lily at? Where's Lily at? Charnia from Milwaukee. See, I should have stayed the queen of. She called me that. That's her coin on me was queen of prelim. I should have stayed.
Queen of the prelims. That's funny. If you had stayed the queen of prelims, would you still be dancing?
See, none of this shit would have happened. I wouldn't have been getting all this
We're
bullshit.
gonna address that,
15,
ladies and gentlemen. Y'all stay tuned for the elephant in the room because we're gonna talk about it. But before we do, Sunshine, I want to know what happened that made you. Where did you get the idea to become one of the most prolific and well remembered, legendary, iconic instructors to ever grace the community and have produced so many dancers? What made you decide to do that? Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, you know, and what I'm saying is I'm not making up nothing. This ain't no joke. This woman has touched more hands in the instructor arena than probably 5 of your best instructors thus far in their entire career. Go ahead.
You know, I'm gonna say this. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to. Even me, I appreciate that. I love that. But I think that Dre and Company was really that engine that gave. I literally kind of took the blueprint from what he was doing when I saw. So I'm gonna have to give him his praise because he influenced me in a lot of ways. That's my boy. Look here. 19 years, 20 years, girl, 20 years, now go 20 years. But anyway, so what drove me to do that was the fact that I was a military girl. I grew up
SOP
in a broken
SOP. Go ahead.
Yep. I grew up in a broken family, so to speak. My grandmother raised me, trying to pick up the pieces, but I spent a lot of time alone. So I learned how to entertain myself, which really is the reason why I became a promoter. I know how to listen. If I can make myself laugh, I know I got y'all. Okay, know that. All right. But anyway, so for me, it was like I'm trying to say it in a nice way. When we was going through that transition, 2005, 2006, when Shy Stepper came out, it was messy. I mean, a lot of fights broke out. Now, I ain't gonna hold you up. Some people was swatting now. I ain't gonna hold you up. It was people, catching a fade now. But it was because it was already bubbling all over. So me seeing how, listen, there is a group of women that is probably in every community that we're gonna call the mean girls. There was a lot of them at that time.
Yeah, they still exist.
If you was new, oh, they listen. I'm okay. I ain't gonna hold you up because I told my students this, so I'm not gonna play with it. I told my students this when I came on the set. Women who were insecure, no matter what, it doesn't matter what her age was, or it don't matter what she looked like or nothing. If you was a new chick and they thought that they man was gonna be fucking on you, you had a problem with that female. You don't even know the damn husband.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know your husband. And that went on a lot. Why? Because I just told you, there had been a wave in 95, 96, right? Hadn't been no new people really coming in. Now you got a bunch of folks. Let me get a shout out. There's a lot of pretty women coming out there. Now, listen, I'm gonna pop my shit. I was one of them. But it was a lot of pretty women, and I had to figure this out. And this is what I figured out. I can teach women how to love other women. You don't have to be insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't have to do that.
Beautiful formula.
So I prayed about it. I ain't gonna hold you up. I prayed about it. I did. I wrote down a whole syllabus. I wrote down, because I was in school. So, college is all about writing and retaining. So it was easy for me to come up with this whole book, right? Came with this whole book. I already knew that the three, at that time it wasn't the Three Amigos anymore, but I already knew I had the support of major people that I knew I would be okay with my vision. If that makes sense. I'm very smart and I'm very strategic. I'm a Leo. That's what we do. I knew that I had a gift to give the community, which is to bridge a gap with the ladies. All right. That was my goal. Why? Because I was in the military. We wouldn't have made it through when we was doing the bullshit that the stepping community was on. yo, motherfucking, we would blow the fuck up over here. The fuck? Listen, don't y'all rush down there and try to join the military. Please don't with your bullshit. Don't. It's not going to work. Right? So camaraderie and solidarity and me being a Leo that's loyal, I'm a sister's keeper. Remember, I grew up by myself. I had sisters, but we were raising things. So I had a longing to have that type of feeling. The
sisterhood.
So, right. So God allowed for me to take the best of both worlds, which was I was already in academia already. I already knew some of the best dancers already. I had approval. I mean, I really went and did my homework. I didn't just go, and I didn't do it for the money. I just want to say that. I'm not shading nobody, but it wasn't that at all. It was not. I really wanted to see if I could change the energy of what I saw then. I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm not trying to be none of that. I'm telling you the truth. I was tired of them bitches hating on me. So I'm going to give you a whole bunch of other bitches to hate on. I'm sick of your shit, bitch. So I'm going to outnumber all you hoes. And that's what God did. God said your words will not come back to your void. Let's talk about it. Can we talk? We can't talk because it's me talking. Okay, I'm going to be quiet.
Come on.
But that's what happened. So the more that I got the negative, listen, the Bible says that God said, I prepare a table in the presence of your enemy. So the more they came against me, the more that table got big. So I'm just giving them.
That table got pretty doggone big.
Well, that's because I had a lot of hate. It was a lot of hate.
Hey, well,
thank God.
That's epic.
That I was able, because that military background, don't forget, I was, raised in a broken family. I was built for it. I was Tonka truck. I was Tonka tough around this
Tonka
bitch.
truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't know. They thought I was just pretty face, little bald head, pretty face. No, I'm tough. So when you tough and you've been through a lot of shit, what do? You become a big sister. Right? So when I started teaching, this is real talk because I had so much shake. And remember, everybody know me because it's Shy Stepper, right? So I'm like, okay, these, let me tell you something. It's a true story. If you ever want to know who your friends are, open up a fucking business. Oh,
we preach. Look, you ain't even got to open up a business. Just do something. And
just do something.
Man, look.
Just do something. So I didn't want to set myself up for failure because, I'm a Leo. I got an ego. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do 24. I don't know why I came up with that random 24. I don't even have a clue. But I came up with the number 24. Look at God. It's probably some guy said. So that first cycle started June of 2006. And it was 24 people. 24 females. It was only female only class. Only saw females, except for one cycle I had. But anyway, in the beginning, it was just females. And believe it or not, it was women that was already on the set already. Now you're talking about, God, I'm like, look at all this time. I thought they didn't even. So I have confidence now. You feel me? That I didn't have prior.
I tell people all the time that 90% of this dance, probably 95% of this dance is confidence.
Seriously.
Yep.
I had the confidence now that I had something that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get a bunch of girls together, you don't want to be no cackling hens. Anybody got time for that? So I wanted to make it fun. It was on a Sunday. I wanted it to be bonding activities. So again, I'm in academia, right? I got all these degrees. So I
Mm-hmm.
just used all that I had and I put it in there so we could have a good time. So cycle 3 comes. Oh no, cycle 4 comes. Cycle 4 comes. And one of my students like, I'm not leaving. I'm Shining Entertainment for life. And it hit me. Get t-shirts.
Mm.
Start marketing this as everyone's Shining Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That's fact, because she wouldn't leave. Listen, she wasn't going. She liked hanging out with them
Yeah,
girls.
you stuck
okay,
with
she liked
me.
hanging out with her sister. Huh?
She said you stuck with me.
Seriously, seriously, and she actually dropped out just to come back to a couple more cycles. But anyway, I digress. I've had a good time with these girls.
You know,
So
you're the one who was responsible for a lot of ladies don't know that sometimes they come to these workshops and these different events and they're asked to wear white t-shirts and jeans. And they don't know you're the one who started that.
well, they had pink. It was pink t-shirts and jeans at that time.
Mm-hmm.
We had pink Shining Temperature. Listen, it was fabulous. Listen, we look so, pink is for girls, right? So we would go to the shoe like before we go. So our class trip. So I had class, just like in school, you got class trip like we 12-year-olds, okay? We got
Mm-hmm.
class trip, we got class activities. So and these is grown women is enjoying it. Why? Because now we get permission to hang out with women and let your guard down just a little to enjoy the sisterhood.
Yeah,
You
you
feel me?
used to
We
show
all
up
on
at
the
a
same
set.
page.
You used to show up at a set 30, 40 deep, didn't
Uh, you know,
it?
that those listen, those were a combination of class trips along with the sisterhood. Was we loved hanging out with each other. I'm not saying that I didn't have any rumblings, but I can tell you out of the 5 or 6 thousand women that I touched, I only can remember 5, and I'm not crazy. That was just renegade. I
Mhm.
think that's a damn good, little stats there.
Yeah,
So I'm not
that's
worried
pretty
about that.
doggone good to have that many personalities, particularly women is always in their feelings and be able to work together like that. James
Listen, I'm
Harris
finna go
said
get a
you helped a
picture
lot
right
of
now.
women become strong.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm finna go get a picture right now. Hold, please, because I gotta show you this. And
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. You know what made that possible? Again, it was God in the background. I had with the military. I'm already used to moving soldiers. What is you talking about? This is like
Erica Jones said, let's talk about the huge workshop at Stepaganza, white button downs, fishnets, etc.
come on now. Listen. So, okay.
Your
Oh
people
my
is in
God.
the building now.
Oh my God. So shout out to time. Listen, shout out to time and do it, baby. Y'all in the building. Come on now. So look, that's crazy because I'm gonna share this and then I gotta go get this picture. So I'm in Florida. I had already moved from the Mecca. I'm down here basking. I'm down here. I got a little garden. I got my little flowers. I done
Mm-hmm.
turned to a hippie. I'm going spiritual. I'm nami stay, nami ho, all that good
Num
stuff,
your
right? So,
horingekyo.
huh?
I said, num your horingekyo.
Right. Yep. All that. Numb your hole. All that. Right. So Ari decides to ask me to do a workshop. I'm like, me? I've been out the game. You know what? I do it because it's you. You know what I'm talking about? I fuck with you,
Mm-hmm.
Ari. That's real talk. So I told him that, right? So now I'm stuck with what am I gonna do? So here's my thought. So listen, y'all, this is true story. I really don't like workshops. Why? Because my passion is I need more than 2 hours with y'all answers. I can't
Mm-hmm.
do this. It's too much stressful for me. So I had to think of something that was fun. We could do a little yin yang yang, little rah rah rah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in Florida, and my good friend at the time was Loretta. Rest in peace, Loretta Sanders. That's my girl. So Jock, he was living down here at the time. So anyway, I bring it on them. I said, "What do you think about button down shirts, federo, hot pants, and some fishnets, and let's do it." And I told him about this. I had this event back a couple of years back with a stepper, and it was off the chain. We learned how to do the chair dance. So I
Mm-hmm.
got that from there, right? She's like, "I think it's gonna be nice." So now I asked all my people in my circles. Well, half of them talking, "You crazy? Ain't nobody coming here to look at no damn stripper. What is going on?" The others like, "Oh, it's gonna be a great idea." So I had to go with my thought. If it sounds crazy, that's gonna be the best idea I got. So I go forth, I put it out. So here's my thought. So I got this part where I'm like, I know these heifers ain't gonna show up they sexy best like I want them to. So what I'm gonna do is this is real talk. The ones that do show up, I'm gonna let them be a parade. I got the video for them. I'm gonna show the other ladies why you should have showed up, like I said, because I'm gonna show you the divas. This is in my mind. This is no cap. I'm like, it ain't gonna be about 15 gonna go for it. Only about 15 gonna go for it. When I showed up and I saw hundreds of women dressed like that,
Wow.
I took that paper I had, fuck this shit. I can't. I only had 5 minutes. I can't. What am I gonna do with this?
Desiree Minnie said we showed up.
Oh my God, and showed out. It was incredible. I had to get help. So I had Linda Frazier out there. Sabrina was helping me. Erica from Just Jizz. I'm missing somebody. Frenchie was. Listen, I needed a whole lot of Shiner Town. I needed everybody, God, everybody. So it was so much fun though, because when it's that many women, you're gonna get do a little razzle dazzle.
Right.
However, God is always in the details. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to make this runway longer. So I go up to Raphael. Shout out again to my shouting timer, DJ Raphael. I tell him you got to extend this. He's cold with it. So it ain't taking but a second to come up with a mix. And it was the parade of the most beautiful shades of melanin.
Yes, ma'am.
In this world. Okay. All right. So that's God. That wasn't me. So I just want to thank everybody that showed up, because I really didn't think nobody's gonna go for it. But see, there it goes. I have learned the craziest ideas are the ideas that get you what you want.
That's what, and those are the things that give you the legendary and the icon status. Now, Keisha Reese says,
Oh, crazy.
Well, that too. Well, you got to be crazy to become one. So there it is. You know what I mean? Them the ones that look, icons and legends do what others won't. That's just what it is.
That's a fact.
Keisha Reese said, you threw a lot of amazing parties, and she wants to know, and she said she knows because she was there. She said, the question is, what location would you say you had the most fun and most exciting moments?
Stop. First of all, she over here gaslighting me. That's what she doing. She gaslighting me. We all know what it was. The lick. Let's talk about it. Can we talk? So, Keisha, I was just talking about this woman, I swear to God, to Poppy last week.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God. It was a blizzard.
Mm.
Nobody was coming outside on Sunday for no damn brunch doing a blizzard. I thought. Did Keisha show up with half of the West Side? Huh? They said they had to stop on the freeway every 5 minutes to wipe down the goddamn wipers because the snow was coming down so hard. Okay, can we talk?
Come on. That's Chicago women for you, though, too, now. That's Chicago people, period. They don't care what the weather is. They going out.
Listen, Vicky Hennon, when I tell you, she was at the time, it was so many Milwaukee, like Dominique and Lily, they used to come down, like, again, we're talking about, it wasn't Holly, it was some old schoolers, but it really wasn't, okay? Mm-hmm. So let me tell you why. This goes back to that same era. The music, again, has a lot to do with it. When I created Shiner Entertainment as a promoter, not as the class, I personally am not a fan of Walker's music. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I'm not from that era. Right. I'm not from Chicago. So that's just to start there. That's all that is, right? No disrespect at all. So me being hip hop and more of a house head, I told Raphael and Steve-O and who listen, Calvin, listen here, Mello, listen here. I had Maurice, I had some of the best DJs ever. Okay. Mm-hmm. When we was at the lick, we had the see-through one-way. Okay, so we're gonna get to the elephant in the room right now. Here it comes. We setting it up. So the see-through runway was at the lick, and I don't wear no underwear, so I would tell the guy. We'll talk about that.
Elephant in the room, y'all. Come on.
Let's move on.
Elephant in the room, monkey in the room, whatever. Okay, come on.
So I've always thought, and here's the thing, Nike, let's give a shout out to Nike. Let's talk about Nike.
Yes, sir. Quick. Yes, ma'am.
Nike, when I was at the lick, since Keisha brought up the lick was sexy. Listen here, it was a strip club when I went there. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. It was a strip club. Do you know how sexy strip clubs are?
Absolutely.
So can you imagine a stepper set at a sexy club like this? If you wasn't there, you wasn't there. Can somebody talk? Can we talk? So Nike used to come to the sets, and he always, used to gas me up because I would wear costumes.
Uh-huh.
I'm a Leo. I'm full of drama, good drama. I'm not, even though people think I'm messy, I can be messy. I will cut you the fuck out. But most time I'm just good messy. But anyway, so he would laugh because I was dared to wear shit for one reason. I knew if I wore outrageous clothes, that you was gonna tell somebody, you know that bitch, you know what that bitch. I wanted you to call me by my name, right? So I do this enough. Guess who gets a wind of me in these costumes?
Mm-hmm.
Ramoski Love.
Uh-huh.
Oh, now 104.3. Is that what it is?
I don't even remember. I know he worked for a couple of stations. Yeah. So for my audience out there, Ramoski Love is a Chicago radio personality and has been for many years, very popular in the city. Go ahead.
Very much, very much. But he was on there with the other Al. No, I forgot his name. But anyway, so he was on the radio. I think it was
V103.
The one. Yep, there it is. V103. So he gets wind, right? How he gets wind, you know how good news travel, I guess. Anyway, but anyway, he shows up,
mm-hmm.
and that was it. Listen. I'm telling you, God gives favors when you're trying to do things right, because I didn't ask for that. I did not call up him and say, please come to my brunch and shout me out. I didn't do that. It was just synergy. The DJs that were coming, they like Raphael knows so many people, Eric Taylor, these people are tapped in with all kind of DJs from all kind of walks of life. So that was like, you could go up to the DJ at the lick and literally see 10 DJs up there, but only one playing. Like they just out there just
hanging out,
mixing.
kicking it.
DJ Phantom.
Turntable Brothers. You know how we do.
On GCI. This nigga at the club at my set playing. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
So on the back of that is when I started Shine Entertainment, the instruction.
Mm.
So I just carried that good energy that, of entertaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
Entertaining plus instruction. Tickman was the assistant instructor. I don't think people know that, but Tickman was my assistant instructor. Sure was.
Boom.
And I'm not confused that a lot of them girls signed up for Tickman. Don't think I don't know, because I do. Okay, we were young. I know.
Them tickets. What would you call them?
Oh, the ticketeer.
The ticketeers.
That's probably what it was. But it was already filled. All the positions was filled. Thank you.
Okay, now.
But no, so we had a good time. So that, and even with that, because Tickman was so legendary, so there go my first legend. I said it. Now talk about who want to argue me. Argue with your mama. I don't care. He's a legend. Okay. He's so legendary that no matter where he go, somebody gonna make up a story. We gonna fucking believe it. Like the nigga, like that's him. like if somebody tell me that half of the where he at is Step in the Name of Love, I'm gonna believe it, because that's what he do.
See,
that's legendary.
Now, because we are, you realize we're almost 2 hours into this interview. Time flies when you're having fun. Now we ain't limited. I'm just more concerned about my audience, but they seem to be holding on. They loving this. They enjoying this interview, and I knew they would. But now, since you brought it up, now I was gonna bring it up, but since you brought it up, we're gonna address the elephant or the monkey in the room, whatever the case may be, and I want your take on that incident, your thoughts and what you dealt with in that regard. And I want you to specifically address the people that you thought were on your team and things of that nature. And I want you to just kind of give the audience some insight on how that whole thing played out and where you are with it today.
Okay, so let me just go back. So even before going on that stage, there was pressure on me at that time, and this going to tie into the backlash from the back.
Right.
Okay, this is my perspective. If you want to argue with me, listen here. Argue with your mama. I'm not talking about this 15 years ago. I'm just going to say what I need to say and move on. Okay, but on the front end of the contest, I felt pressure because they were like, oh, you ain't never been in a contest. You ain't never won a contest. And you're an instructor. You can taught 5,000 women, but you need to get in a contest. What?
Now, y'all heard that, 5,000 women. And I think it's actually more. At that time, it was 5,000.
I had taught a lot by that time. I had taught enough that we could fill up a small club. Let's put it like that, right? By ourselves. But they still needed me to validate, again, who I was in the community, all right? This is the pressures that was going on.
So they was looking for a chink in your armor anyway.
We get into it because it's gonna play out on the back end. I'm telling you, if it was a shade room, I would have went viral. These motherfuckers let me have it. They even told me, well, anyway. So let me start at the beginning. So I practiced. I did my thing. At no time, let me say this, and I said this before. At no time would I have spent all that energy, all of the practicing, all of the things that I did for me to go up there and sabotage myself. And I know somebody has said that, and that's, that's not true. You heard it from me. Why would I do that? Even my partner has said I was crazy. Okay, this is the bullshit motherfuckers be on. Okay, they will say, listen, because their dream. This is my perspective. When you crush motherfuckers' dreams and expectations, these motherfuckers hate you because you didn't allow me to do what I needed to do for my motherfucking ego, bitch. Okay, that's how I felt. Now, again, one thing that I know, and this here is just hindsight's 2020. If I'd have went downstairs prior to the contest and saw that it was a raised stage, I would have changed everything. The contest the year before and the years before, I even got video, because you think I'm motherfucking lying. I got video. It was at Willowbrook on the goddamn floor.
On the floor, right.
So I'm thinking, I'm good. Why? Because there's no wind tunnel under the motherfucking floor to blow up this flimsy ass, whimsical ass baby doll. Okay. So when it happens, right? When the pantygate, when the gate opened, right? I'm like, and I got time to be embarrassed, react, run off. What do? I'm trying to push my dress down and dance. I'm hearing, now mind you, I'm tuning in because he's still turning me and I'm still trying to resist the turn. Okay, let's be clear on it, but we're not going to talk about it. Okay, because I am trying to stop. It's not like I'm like, oh, show it, right? Okay.
Say it ain't like you was out there doing a burlesque show.
I mean, listen here. I didn't have OnlyFans wasn't even in existence yet. Like, there's a lot of things I would have done that would have required money. This wasn't it. You feel me? So, anyhow, so now I'm in the moment and it's happening, and I hear this is my perspective. I don't know if this is true or not, but where's C from the Majestic just said that was my dude back in the day, one of my good friends. He was at the goddamn table. So where's he at? Where my homie at? So I'm hearing the boos from the females, of course, okay? And I'm hearing claps from the niggas. What is going on? Okay. So I'm like, we steady trying to dance, and I zoned out literally because all I could hear was what I just said. I don't remember finishing the dance other than coming off the stage. And I remember at that moment, this is my perspective, I had a best friend at the time. I thought that was my best friend. I thought that she would be the first one at that podium. That's okay though. But I remember C saying, well, at least you woke up the place.
Oh, God. That sounds like something he say.
It was bored as hell before you got up there. I knew you was going to. I was like, y'all are crazy, right? But guess what? Him saying that to me helped me in that moment, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. It broke
so
the,
I
want to
give a shout out
tension.
to C. Thank you. You hear me? Because that was PTSD a little bit right there. Okay? And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to blame anybody, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what I felt. I'm not blaming anybody. This is what happened. So coming off that stage, I went and got a cocktail. I remember us going up to the room. Of course, it's a bunch of, shenanigans. We arguing, everybody's mad at me. Again, I'm the girl with no drawers on, and y'all mad at the motherfucker because we didn't win. Let's be clear on that. Let's talk about it. Nobody said, bitch, is you embarrassed? How do you feel? You okay? Nobody gave a fuck about none of that, bitch. What? So now the narrative, because this, this is like how they do on TMZ. The narrative is, she did it on purpose. I could go on and on my accolades outside the stepping community, but I can promise you that no one outside of my stepping community that knows me will know who the fuck is you talking about. She would never. Okay? I raised the doctor. Let's talk about it. I'm one of them girls. Let's talk about it. I popped my shit. I said what I said. Okay?
Right.
So for me to be able to do that, you got to have some type of decorum, some kind of something. Okay?
Right.
So they painted me as a whore. And I had Dear Sunshine letters from September, whenever the contest is, all the way up until December. It was literally every day. You know who stood in the gap and kept me going?
Mm.
DJ Cross called me every day. Billy Hall Jones, shout out to my BFL, Billy Hall Jones, called me every day. Gary called me every day. Dex called me every day. Listen, did you hear that? Not one bitch. Not one bitch. You heard what I said. You heard what I said. My gift is to women, but not one woman held me up that time. Okay. Okay. I just want you to be clear. This was in hindsight, not blaming nobody. This was meant to happen the way it did. And it built me to be who I am now. I ain't mad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blessing. It's a silver, it's always a silver lining to every storm, right? So so here I am. So T Pratt calls me like, we gotta talk about your ass now. I said, okay, here we go. So within that week, we had the interview. And I remember I wasn't even I probably wasn't even 42 at the time. So I'm a Leo. So I know that what they wanted, and I say they, meaning the energy of that moment, of that era, because we're talking about 15 years ago. The energy of that era was to show weakness, what I'm doing, I be transparent. I'm not going to do that in front of my enemies. You understand? I wasn't that girl.
Give them no
ammunition.
Let's
be clear. I'm a motherfucking Leo. Let's talk about it.
Right.
You ever seen a cat die in front of you? Hell no. They go in the goddamn corner. The fuck is you talking about? Exactly. So I went through the I call it the fires of Mortor. You ever watched Rings, Lord of the Rings? I went through the fires of Mortor, right? And they let me have it. But you know what hurt me? It wasn't what they said about me. It was the fact that there was so much pointed at me that it was nothing directed at my partner. Nothing. He got off scot-free because he said I was crazy. So now he's a darling. He's the darling of the community. I find that strange. I'm not blaming nobody, but I just find that motherfucking strange. Okay?
There is a level of irony in there.
It is. Listen, if you don't catch it, you're gonna be mad. I don't give a fuck. But if you caught it, you catch it. You feel me? And we can move on. Let's move on. So I am always been who I've been. So I'm talking to God. I'm doing the work, and I'm keeping my strength because I'm told you people's calling me every day. Listen here, clocking in like I was at the prison. Okay, clocking in. And I remember going out 2 weeks after the incident, and I heard someone at it was Club the Elegant at the time. Is that Sunshine? I said, why the fuck wouldn't it be? Y'all can't run me off the set. None of this. This is the energy that I'm telling you. This is stupid shit.
Yeah.
What about that makes me not want to dance? I came in for the dance, not for y'all approval. What the fuck? Didn't I say that in my goddamn interview?
Right.
So, anyhow, I continued on with my class. So I went to my class. I was teaching. And I told him, I said, I know how things can get. Because it's like kids sometimes. They get embarrassed. You the pee-pee girl. Nobody want to fuck with the one that's pee-pee girl. This kid ass shit. So if I'm a pee-pee girl, don't even have to come back. You understand? I'm being honest. I'm being very transparent. So that class cycle, of course, dipped all the way down to the ground, right? Right? No problem. No problem. My friendship is so. Here's the thing that hurt me the most out of all of this. Is that I lost my friend. Somebody want to talk about that. How I had to identify who my motherfucking friend was. Let's talk about it. Not blaming nobody. But didn't get a call. I'm calling her. And you know what hurt me is when he did that interview. This was supposed to be my BFF. Or at least I think I'm bad at calling women BFFs. That's what I think it is, right? But
you find out who they are when you go through.
It's always the women.
That's
okay. I still love women because I know that's gonna be my greatest adversary because I have a gift for women. So I get it. You get what I'm saying? Right. I have to keep balance with men. So I get that. Again, it's not giving no one shade. I'm saying this is what I learned from this experience. Okay, that my allies are men. Okay, period. So I go through this by myself, but she never told me. Like, I wish that somebody was like, you know what? I'm mad at you, but I just want to give you a heads up that my man finna throw your ass under the motherfucking bus. I would have loved joy at that. I didn't even get that. That hurts. I would have did that to your ass. But I'm a Leo, though. That's how the fuck I get down. I'm going to be loyal till the motherfucking wheels fall off. Ain't no female on the second ever say I did shit to him. If I say I was our best friend, I said what I said, okay?
Mm-hmm.
May not be reciprocated. They may not feel the same way, but I know what I feel, and that's all I can do. All I can do is what I do, right? I have no control over no one else. So so I go through all of this, and then the second thing that hurt me is that they had got so deep and so mad at me for not wearing no drawers. Oh, you whole ass bitch, your kids ain't shit. Are you serious? Now my kids ain't shit because I don't wear drawers. Do you see how silly this sounds?
Yeah.
Because I don't wear drawers. My whole lineage is a bunch of hoes and a bunch of nothing ass bitches.
And the funny
Because
thing
I
is, I
don't wear
mean, but
drawers.
here's the thing: you ain't the only one that don't. And it's
That,
plenty.
you know why I didn't even say that? Because that's so fucking obvious
Yeah.
that duh. Like the bitches that was running their mouth with no drawers on.
But the
Let's
funny
talk
and the
about
other
it. Can we
thing
talk?
is too, you know, this is something that I've had to that you know, it is crazy because at my older age, I think I've become more sensitive toward so-called friends. I didn't used to be this way because I could take you or leave you. But when you get to be older like we are now, and I'm only saying this because this is something that I've had to learn in recent years, is that, you know, if you ain't been through something with me, I'm going to hesitate right at the line of calling you a friend. We gotta go through something, and I gotta know you
That's a
10 toes
fact.
down before I know.
Listen,
Because I'm
that's a
telling you, because
fact.
people will turn on you
If
so
I ain't
fast
broke
it'll make your
bread with
head
you,
spin.
yep,
You know,
that's a
they'll
fact.
turn on you quick.
So during that time period, I was getting myself strengthened, and so I start the next cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when the Tick Man and Sunshine video came out.
Mm-hmm.
That came out around December 9th or December 10th. Somebody can fact check it. But let me show you how the community, the energy of the bullshit is. As soon as that goddamn video came out, wasn't nobody talking about pantygate no more. Ain't that?
They quick. They people forget quick.
There's some simple ass shit now. Now
Yeah.
keep the same energy now.
Mm-hmm.
It shifted within a week. So let's talk about it. That was God. He knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly where I was at. Knew exactly what needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could have broke me. You understand me?
Yeah.
I went through a lot of scrutiny. But the thing that I know that people don't know, I was already Tonka tough before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my testimony. It ain't even time to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was already prepared, whatever God had in my way. And that pantygate was one of the biggest obstacles that I had to deal with. Self-acceptance, let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
it. Self-respect. And yeah, finding out who your motherfucking friends is. Okay, let's talk.
Nah.
All right,
And
let's talk.
sometimes these things happen for a reason. You almost can't even get mad because
I'm
sometimes it's
not mad.
necessary.
That's why I can talk about it now and not cry, and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, we did later on become cordial again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it. Do you know that in that write-up that he wrote about me on Shy Stepper, everybody like in the comment, don't free fuck with that bitch no more. She ain't shit. She the devil. Blah, 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 blah. Now we at motherfucking what was the Club Diamond stepping in the name of love. See. This is the finicky shit that people be on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I was a part of the culture, so that goes for me too, because I was up there dancing with them too. But guess what? I'm dancing because I like when people tell me what they not gonna motherfucking do, and then you see the motherfucker. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. All right. So before I got two things that I want to end up with. One, the other elephant in the room, because this is a constant question throughout the community. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to or willing to give a definitive answer to this question, but it is one that lingers, and there are those who still want to know. Will you or do you have any intent on ever returning to the fold of the Steppers community and blessing some more of these women with what they now know is a very valuable and important commodity that only you can provide?
Unfortunately, I will not until I can't at this moment. Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing things that is important to me now, but the community is. I've had PTSD because of the
Just
stuff
say
I've been through in the
toxic
family.
because it is, but go ahead.
Right. But I went through things. And so I don't want to, my wellness is very important to me.
Mhm.
And, I'm not a young spring chicken like when I came into stepping.
Right.
And I don't have the energy to deal with a lot of low vibrational situations from people that's clout chasing and want to be legends when they I don't have time for that because
Ooh-wee.
I would have been checked the fuck out of you now. My words is way more powerful than they was 20 years ago. So I don't want to do that. So it's best for me to stay on this side and keep my little pinky toe or big toe in the water and check the temperature and make sure, everything's copacetic,
Mhm. I get it. I understand. And of course, I don't blame you because, again, there are times where, and it's funny, I like the way you discuss your journey through stepping as cycles because I believe that every one of us goes through cycles within this community, including myself. And it's funny that you have actually given me a new way to define my own journey. And having been in some form or fashion a part of this community for a very long time, you understand that when you're dealing with so many different people and so many different personalities, despite the actual dance itself, there is a lot that you have to contend with. There are days, and I've been very transparent. That's one thing that anybody who knows me, is I got people on this live that been knowing me since I was shorty. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about cradle to the grave folks. I got people who have only met me in the last year. There have been plenty of times throughout my journey in stepping where I want to walk away, where I don't want to do this anymore. The wind beneath my wings are the people when I'm in places and they say to me, and it is a form of validation, I'm not gonna lie. There are those who approach me, and I think one of the most important times that happened to me was not people outside Chicago. I get people all over the country, wherever we go, and a lot of people come to sets. They'll tell you coming through the door, we here because of Inside Stepping. Straight up, people say it out their mouth all the time. But when I go, and this happened to me just recently. As a matter of fact, it was world's largest weekend. I went into the Grand Ballroom. I think Good Time Productions was doing one of their things that night.
Oh, I used to go to that set. Oh my God, I used to go to that set when it was over on in the hood. Do you hear me?
And when I go to a set like that, now I'm 60, right at 60 next year. When I go to a set like that, and I have people that are 10, 15, sometimes 20 years my senior approaching me and saying, I love your show. Thank you for keeping stepping in its right perspective and helping these people to understand our culture. When I get that from people that I came up under and looked to for guidance in this community, and they straight up getting it to me like that, it keeps me grounded to where I know that the work that I'm doing has value. No, we don't make no money off of this. But what we do, like I talked about at the very beginning of this show when I talked about my wife, what we provide is actually priceless for the people who are able to glean information and grow themselves within this dance the right way without misinformation and people trying to force themselves into places within these communities that they don't belong, lying to people as they're embarking upon this journey, not knowing the truth, because we all know that it's easier to lie to people than it is to prove to people that they've been lied to. So because of that, it's necessary that there is someone who establishes the trust among the people who know the truth, who know where the bodies are buried, who understand the realities of what we deal with, and they are able to co-sign what I say. Because again, I have an open door policy. Anytime I say something that you think is wrong, you're welcome to come here and debate me on it. Period. I don't care who you are. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. And if I'm not, you should have all your receipts in order. And if you don't, it's
Right.
okay. But it becomes, this is a labor of love. This is a labor of understanding. Because in as much as I am growing others, I am also growing in this process. And in as much as I am able to thankfully have people like yourself, Sunshine, to come on here and to help others. Because see, even though you say I'm not coming back, in effect, you have come back tonight because you still affected someone with this interview. And that, for that, I'm thankful. And I know that there are plenty of others who are also thankful for your time that you have lent to us to have clarity. So for that, I want to thank you.
Welcome.
Is there anything that you want to leave with this community?
I do. I do.
Go on and speak on it.
Um, when I left in 2012, I left still having people wanting to come to my class. And I didn't leave because I fell off. I left because I just could not deal with the jealousy and the constant. It was constant. So if I wanted to, one thing I just want to say is, that was in 2012, and it's what 12 years later, and that means we've gotten 12 years older.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, when do we just stop and just go, just be peaceful people and stop clout chasing? We're not in our 30s no more. A lot of that stuff I was making jokes about, I'm trying to tell you the reason why is because we were young. Shit was funny then. The shit ain't funny now.
Right.
When I hear the like, I don't never comment on stuff and shit, never hardly, but I hear shit and it's like, y'all too fucking old for this bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying it. It's not a good look. You got grandkids, you got great grand. What is y'all doing? Like, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much we can do, especially the icons and the legends. A lot of the legends have passed away. George Macaroni Tony, definitely a legend, a legend, right? Gone, George Macaroni, right? Those folks, before they died, I was thankful to have talked to them. And the reason why I'm bringing that up now is that, can we at least have people be able to say that about you, that before you pass,
Ooh.
this is the interaction I got from you, right?
What you said. Mm.
Because right now, it don't look like that.
Mm.
And I'm on the outside looking in. And you know how people have cats, like I got 2 cats. So I clean my litter every day because they have you get what they call nose blind or whatever.
Yep.
So those cat smell.
Yeah.
I think that steppers right now, I'm not naming no one, the community energy is that they're nose blind to the bullshit. Okay?
Ooh-wee.
And if you step away from the shit and go back in, be like, golly, because I go in, I be like, you don't see this shit?
Right.
I went there last year. I was like, yo, what is?
Yeah. Like you can't smell that?
So, right. So that's what I feel. So I'm hoping that, anyone can take from this is that no matter, I had a trouble, start. Chai Stepper, I was showing up Wendy Williams, right? But I turned and converted that energy thanks to whoever this announcement person was on Chai Stepper. I used my energy for good and I changed it around and I went out the way I wanted to go out. And I love the dance. I hate what is happening with the energy of the people, but can't do nothing about it now.
Yeah.
So you guys are still in it. Y'all got to do it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it is a labor of love. And there are days when I am not in love. And so, like my marriage and like any marriage, you work through the hard times and you continue on and you make it the best that it can be. And it ebbs and flows like anything else. And I do get disappointed sometimes with some of the behaviors and some of the people, and and especially like you mentioned, the clout chasers. It drives me, it's annoying because, I'm a firm believer that if you're good at what you do, if you're great at what you do, much like the discussion we had about legends, you don't have to continuously push yourself and pump yourself up and put your billboard across your forehead. Others will do it for you. And when people learn to understand that, they will stop working so hard to be seen, to be validated, to be pushed to the front when oftentimes they're egos outweigh their skill set. Just do you, enjoy what you do, and stop working so damn hard to get on everybody's nerves. If more people just did that simple thing, but see, that would require them to actually live their lives better. Forget the dance. Let's just skip that part. If these behaviors came into the community the same way a lot of the negative behaviors come into the community, then we would be so much better off. It kind of trips me out that so many people, I still do. I talk about the therapeutic nature of stepping and the way that it takes so many people away from so much pain and so much anger and other things. The problem is once they get off the floor, it's the nonsense that they can't shake that begins to permeate the noses of the rest of us who can smell it still. We are not nose blind. Yeah. And we still struggle.
They don't come out no more. There's so many great dancers that don't even
that
bother
do not come
to
out.
come out.
You're absolutely right. That was the next thing I was about to say.
Like it's people in Shine Entertainment. not capping. There are women in Shine Entertainment would tell me, I'm not coming out until you give a party.
Mm-hmm. See?
Because they already know what kind of energy it's going to bring. So everybody should check their energy. Speaking of that, go to smudgeandglowshop.com and get you some good energy. Okay, 30% off.
That's right. I shop with her, y'all. I'm just saying. Y'all need to
get
with Sunshine on her stuff there. Yeah. So so the whole thing is, I just hope and pray that people learn. See, no one is half the battle, and when they don't understand that they're toxic, they don't realize when they bring in that toxicity and exposing it to everyone else. And as you pointed out earlier, and Kathy Taylor Ethel just pointed out, low vibration. Some people don't understand that they are low vibe. It's like stupid people they really don't understand that they're stupid. So it's kind of the same thing. Sunshine, my dear, we have gone 2 hours and 15 minutes. Ooh.
Okay, we done made an epic movie. We're good.
But the beauty is, this audience has hung in there. We are.
I love y'all.
Yes, and so do I. I love my Inside Stepping family.
I hope it didn't offend nobody too much. I was just popping my shit, a little yin, little Rosdales, a little something. I'm going back in my hole now.
Well, hey, look, you know I'm gonna be nudging you on the side every now and then, drag you up out of there just a little bit, just get a couple of people on, just expose you to a few folks. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, transparent moment.
All right.
But listen, like I said, this audience has hung in there. We have a pretty good number of people who are actually watching this right now live, and there will be many more who will return to this video.
Can I just give a shout out to Shine Entertainment? Can I just
give a shout out to anybody you want? Please do that.
Where my girls at? Tatiana, Tyra, where my girls at? Where's my girl?
Vanilla Drop said, what's up?
Cycle 21. Where's Cycle 21?
Mr. Lloyd Johnson is in the building. We got a whole bunch of folks in here. Miss Sue McDaniel.
I got to give a shout out to the DMV. That's Cycle 21. They over there gangbang.
We got a whole bunch of people in here.
It's funny.
And everybody loves you. Now that goes back. See, you keep talking about being an icon, but I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm gonna give you myself in my mind. Look, Kevin, here come Doc. Doc, you late as hell. I'm gonna give you for me. Now I ain't speaking for nobody else. For me, I'm gonna give you a legendary status because not only are you well loved despite those who would turn on you behind your situations, but because of the amount of people that you've touched, and the fact, number one, the fact that people still say sunshine in this community, and they still say it with reverence and admiration, and the fact that you have contributed to this community in ways that other people who want to be legends could never even imagine doing. So for me, that gives me all I need to bestow that title upon you from my mouth to your ears. Doc say that was he say you was his partner. Look,
That's right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh my God, that might make me lose a lash. Let's get off this live.
Miss Frenchie Payne is in the building. We got a whole bunch of
That's
folks
my
in
girl,
here.
the fabulous one. That's right. Shine Entertainment in the building. Listen. I just want to say one more thing. Listen here, guys. it for all the ladies that are learning how to dance right now. I know there's a lot of things being said. I just want to say this: please use your spirit of discernment. Don't get into mess. Don't get into no mess. Use your spirit of discernment. You don't need nobody to champion you to do nothing that your spirit didn't tell you not to do or to do. Please, can we just be grown? Please, we need peace, peace, peace. That's it for me. Peace.
So wait a minute. See, I'm about to take you down a rabbit hole just right quick. We might as well go on and get it out. I mean, hell, we doing it.
Ooh,
We
what
might
is
as well get it out. So on this whole, ladies, use your discernment. Take this time, Sunshine, and address that elephant in the room. Something that has, as of late, become a topic of conversation in regard to conduct and caution.
What do you think the average age of the ladies in the community is now? Anybody
Now,
drop a number? What?
I would say average
Mhm.
58, 5, maybe. Something
That's
like
the
that.
average age. So if the average age is, let's say, 55, can we talk? Can I just get to it?
Come on.
She old enough to know, okay? To raise kids, maybe. She has responsibilities, at least doing something. You mean to tell me that you ain't figured out how to handle a motherfucker by the time you're 55? Is you crazy?
Hmm.
Are you Jim Crow slow? Let's talk about it.
Hmm.
Is it really victims? I'm not blaming nobody. I'm not knocking nobody. Everybody got their purpose. I know I didn't let nobody stop my purpose. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it really victims on the scene? Like, can we
Hmm.
talk? I know a lot of bitches. I was one of them. Did I say that earlier? I came there for that. So I'm being honest. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm being honest. Is it really victims? The only victims are the ones. There's some heavy predators out there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the average woman. She knows a difference between a flirt and a predator. At 50, if you are over 50 and you don't know how to handle yourself, why are you on the set without? Oh, speaking of age, can we talk? I
Somebody just said
cringe.
on
This is
here
just
that they're starved for attention at 55. But go ahead.
hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. Listen here, I start for a little attention every now and again. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. But anyway, listen. Can we talk about how I cringe? It's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I cringe when I see mothers taking their teenage, puberty, adolescent daughters to these damn classes.
Mm.
Can we talk?
Hmm.
Has the diddler not taught us nothing? Huh? I'm not saying something, but I'm saying something. Can they at least be 21? I mean, seriously, they learn how to. Look at here. Keep your children, in my opinion, your daughters especially, away from these men. If the topic of discussion is predators on the set, then act like it then. Keep your kids off the damn set. Let's talk about it.
Hmm. Come on.
If the topic of discussion is predators on the set, then I don't expect mothers and grandmothers to be taking their kids and grandkids around because you don't know who is what. You don't know. They just ain't saying that. Look at Diddy. Diddy got thousands of motherfuckers on the goddamn line.
Hmm.
So we don't know. People stay quiet for a myriad of reasons. Some people don't even know when a man had rubbed his dick on their leg that they've been sexually assaulted. I'm sorry about that.
No,
But that's the
no, no, no,
truth.
no. I need you to keep it a buck because that actually
No, there are
happens. I've
times
heard of it
men will
happening.
dick
I've heard
be
of
hard on you. That's assault.
yeah.
Now you either can stand there and let this motherfucker keep grinding, or you can say, "What are you doing?" Like I do. That's why a lot of times people don't really fuck with me because I will check the shit out of you. Then I'm gonna take your ass and drag you on Facebook and the other social media because I don't play that. Why can't every woman that's over 50 have that same energy? By this time, you should. You a
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking mountain lion. You ain't no goddamn cougar no more. You a goddamn mountain lion. Act like it.
But see, now hold on. Let me stop you. And I'm going to stop you because now I'm getting ready to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
We are in a community where, and I've run across this quite often, there are a lot of women who are not confident in their dance, specifically because a lot of them, being 5 years, some of them 10 even, who are new in the dance, they are oftentimes starstruck, awestruck, or just not confident enough to be able to stand back from somebody that other people like or think is popular and say, what the are you doing? They won't do it. And that puts them in a vulnerable position out of fear of being rejected or mean girl pushed aside, whatever the case may be. So I need you, and this is why people like you in the instructional capacity within this dance are so important, because these things need to be taught by these so-called sometimes instructors who won't give it to them. Come on, talk to me. How you say, I ain't gonna hold you up. Come on.
So look, let's start here. Idol worshiping. Can we stop idol worshiping? Can we stop making people celebrity? Let's start there. Let's start there. Did you know that legends,
look.
did you hear what it said? Legends famous or not? Or not? Let's start with the not.
Mm-hmm. Can we get rid of the term that you created called heavy hitter that intimidates some people?
Oh my God. Oh my. Can we talk about something?
Come on.
Let's move on.
Come on.
I hate that.
We here now. Let's do it.
The idol worshiping, the idolatry of idolizing. So let me say this. I'm gonna make it very brief because I know people tired. When I was going out of town, the people that are around me, they know what I'm talking about. I could not breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Jennifer Lopez. I'm not Queen Elizabeth. But on the stepping scene, I know some of these people have never had this kind of attention in high school. I've been pretty. I'm gonna pop my shit. I've been pretty. So that shit don't bother me. Okay, that don't bother me. My confidence is whether I'm whatever the fuck you think is what I think. It's my daddy said. Listen, my grandmother said it ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. Let's talk about it. Can we talk? So that right there, coming in as a grown adult, why are we idolizing dancers, putting them on pedestals? They're people. See what's their conversation when it talks about it, how it aligns to the dance. Can they instruct? Can they really communicate step to feet, mouth to whatever, how they do it, right? That you are confident that they will teach you without rubbing on your ass or robbing you of your money or whatever is going on. You know, the problems is endless, I'm sure, right? But another thing I taught my students, so we're talking to this, let's talk about it. You need to be talking to, if you're going to have a village of people coming to you, giving your money, why don't you take the opportunity to be the big sis, the auntie, whatever the fuck, right? And tell your students what it is. I told them women, I only taught women except for one cycle. Look here, if there was any niggas on the set that was worth something, I'd already had them already. So let's go and talk about something else. No, I'm being real. I was big sister. We're not going to play no games. If any of them niggas was worth something, wouldn't I be with them? I know a good nigga when I see one. I'm married one. I get what I know what it is. So no, at the end of the day, women have to have the instructors are teaching women. Obviously, it doesn't matter about age at this point, because I would have thought we wouldn't be having this conversation. The women that I was teaching, hold on, let me go get this picture. The women I was teaching were in their 30s, their 20s, their 30s. You understand a conversation had to be like that? Mm-hmm. I did have older students, but the average, like if I had 75, I usually have 75 to 100 females in one cycle. I'm going to tell you that 60% is under the age of 40. Mm-hmm. So that conversation, yeah, they hot and tender. I can tell you about all the chicken hawks on the goddamn set, but I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I have no intentions of cleaning up chicken hawks. But what I can do is educate my sisters. Now, if you like chicken hawk, there go 1, 2, there go 10 of them right over there. Mm-hmm. But if you come here to dance, go the fuck home. Ask Frenchie, can we talk? Can we talk? Mm-hmm. And the ones that wouldn't acquiesce to that because they was on there some other shit, I usually got rid of them in 3 weeks. So the enemies I created were some of my students that I had to get rid of in 3 weeks. I really do know my own kind. And women of integrity and women that walk a certain way and behave a certain way, they were not going to be taken advantage of like that. Why? Because I'm sitting there telling you what the fucking game is and pointing the niggas out. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Wasn't no lives to talk about it. No. Wasn't none of that. Right? And guess what? We navigate through it too. We navigated through it with no problems.
Now there's the other thing. That's yet another issue where this is concerned. There are those who have spoken about these sorts of topics, especially in recent months. And the crazy part about it is, well, it's not crazy. The simple fact is there are things that have been said and things that have been pointed out. And some people may not have cared for the delivery or the person, but I detected very few lies. And like you, people tend to attack things that they don't care for because they may think it's distasteful in their eyes or whatever the case may be. And it would be a similar scenario where you were concerned, where people turned on you. The sad
Yes,
thing to me is that
I'm in full agreement.
much like,
Let me tell you something. That right there was no. I watched that. There was no lies detected. The problem is, and here's the problem. It's about with the backlash, or not the backlash, but the back end of that live or those lies that was about that should be this. Can I take accountability for my own action? I probably did rub my dick. You know what? I was acting a little fucking weird.
yeah,
Or and females too.
yeah, I
Females
was
might be
gonna
doing
say
some
it goes
weird
both
shit.
ways now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, stop whispering in niggas' ears with that old ass cologne, personal. But guess what? Anyway, move on. Um, Take accountability that you want to clean up the culture of the dance where you're not talking about prey and predator.
Hmm.
Everyone is old enough to say to
Right.
themselves, let me change my behavior. I She didn't say my name. So if I identify with any parts of this, I need to fix my
Yeah.
shit.
And it's like you
That's what
said,
I got
you,
from
all it takes, because see, here's the thing. The bottom line is, yes, there are people in this community that do things and have done things I know about. And it's unfortunate because this subject gets so sticky. It gets so, you know, it turns into a problem because the people who need to be called out oftentimes are not the ones being called out. And it ends up becoming a more of a hassle for everybody than for those who actually need to be dealt with on the set, because there are people who genuinely really just shouldn't even be out here with the rest of us, but we let it pass like we do a lot of things that happen within the steppers community. We normalize certain things, and it again, like what you said earlier, it don't pass the smell test. You become nose blind to some of the things that go on. And I would prefer people held themselves accountable, like you just said. But then what are we saying right now? That's like saying, everybody that does something foul ain't gonna do something foul, but we know better. And it's much like Josiah Burt points out, has pointed out on here before, and points out on a regular basis, especially to his students, the people that he instructs. You don't know these people. We don't know each other. We share a space on the dance floor for 3 or 4 minutes at a time. Very few of us have actually sat down and broke bread and
right.
been a part of each other's lives and enjoyed each other's company outside of the dance community. I've asked plenty of women, that admire, like what you said about this star thing with these dancers. And I've asked plenty of women, so what is that conversation like off the wood? I'm just curious. I'd like to know what y'all because I just want to know what the hell do y'all talk about when you're not dancing?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some real idiots. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just keep it a buck. I know some dumb sons of bitches, and they just don't have nothing to talk about. And and I'm just asking that question because you realize, and when I do that, I'm really trying to point a finger at: are you one of those groupies? Are you one of those people that's just so enamored by the way this person dances that you can't get past that part to actually deal with the reality of who an individual is? And that goes for men and women alike.
Again, let's go back to what I've used. Diddler's a prime example of what I mean. This man was able to get away since 1992 with all he did because why? He has legendary status. Everybody loves him. No, not Diddy. They said everybody clout chasing. So that happens. That right there is a microcosm of what goes on in the world happening in the community as well. So, again, we are old enough. Like you tell me that the average age is 50, which is crazy. When we gonna start teaching youth? Come on now, let's talk about it. Can we talk? But if that's the average age, then there should be a lot more accountability because we old enough to know. Now we're not babies no more. Okay, we're not babies no more.
Yeah, and again, and like and it definitely goes both ways. I mean, because I have known of situations where there was some pretty aggressive women out here, but the difference is, as men, we have to be careful about the stigma that comes with us saying, man, that broad grabbed my ass, or she rubbed up against my dick, or something like that. I done had weird stuff happen, but
Yeah.
ain't nobody get ready, and it's messed up because again, it's that whole social stigma of being a man, you know, which goes beyond the whole stepping community because you'll have, like, I was reading a thread the other day on Facebook where they were talking about young males having been molested by babysitters and things of that nature, older women, and a lot of people, and like I had to explain to them, there was a time where, as a young man, the last thing you was going to do was complain about some chick rubbing up on you or whatever the case may be. Where on the other hand, if that happened to a female, all hell finna break loose if we find out about it. So
Yep.
that stigma carries over into even this community. So a lot of people aren't going to say
Absolutely.
something. Men anyway, but women, you know what I'm saying, don't say something because of the fear of retribution. And I think that the transparency
Oh yes.
becomes necessary to
Vicious.
some degree.
Vicious retribution. I was
Yeah,
on the other end of it, honey. Vicious.
yeah.
They cold with it too. I promise you. They need to make a movie about them girls. But anyway.
All right. You get off my doggone show. We done. I'm done talking to you because we'll be all
All right.
night,
Well,
and these
thank,
folks got
thank
to
you
go
for
to
the
bed.
opportunity. I had a great time. I love everybody that stayed into the end. You're the best. You're the bomb. Come to smudgeandglowshop.com.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
you.
Tell them, give them your information. Make sure everybody got your information.
Smudgeandglowshop.com. 30% off. If you are into good energy, good vibrations, good listen, because we didn't talk about low vibrational shit for the last 2 or 3 hours. I don't know what do we want, fifth hour. What is it? With the Guinness
we
Book
need
of
look, we
Records by
need a
now?
cleanse
Goddamn.
after
But
this. Come
anyway,
on.
we should be in the Guinness Book of Records. But anyway, use Hoodoo to get 30% off. Why? Because October is National Hoodoo Month. If you don't know what Hoodoo is about, please DM me and I will teach you. I will teach you. Please tell you what it is. Please do not be ignorant. All right. Thank you.
We got people already on here screaming about a part two. Lord have
Oh my
mercy.
God. We got if we do a part two, we're gonna have to talk about Shadow Entertainment's house parties. We have to talk about all them legendary steppers that have came through, like Sean Bandy. I remember his first steps. We got. Can we
Hey,
talk?
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Look, here's the thing. I don't have a problem. And to be honest with you,
Oh,
Sunshine,
shout
if
out to
this
Maurice Turner. He's the other legend. He's the other legend. Thank you, Maurice Turner. I said it. Now what? What you gonna do? Whip my ass?
look at you.
Maurice
Now,
Turner.
now
I
look,
said what I
look.
said.
Here's the thing. I ain't got a problem with us doing with you and I working together again. And here's the reason why. Because what this means is that regardless to whether what you say, it means that you're still benefiting the community. And so I'm with it. See, I got you. Look, Sunshine, you can't avoid me, baby. I got you. I'm gonna lock you down.
I got it. I got it. Well, thank you for the opportunity. I really have fun with you. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Listen, it's been wonderful. Thank you for participating. Thank you so much for bestowing my audience with your knowledge and your stories and your hilarity because people are amazed at how funny you are. What you got, producer lady?
Sunshine's coming to San Antonio.
She say Sunshine's coming to San Antonio. So
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
All right.
All right, guys. I gotta go.
all right. Listen, Sunshine,
All right, bye-bye.
have a good night, baby. We're gonna talk. I'll get at you
Thank you.
tomorrow. Matter of fact.
Awesome.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Peace.
Bye. Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the woman, the myth, the legend, Sunshine, y'all. She has been very, very cooperative, very open and transparent, which is what we wanted. I am happy that I have been able to bring to you that interview specifically because I know that somebody out there got some help and got something out of it. And at some point or another, we gonna drag Sunshine's ass back into this thing just a little bit at a time if we have to, but I'm just saying. Uh, and with that, I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. I just want to tell everybody that I love you all. Thank you so much. And I do realize, unlike a lot of people throughout this community, without you guys, we have nothing. Without the audience and the people to serve, we have nothing. And I want to be as a service to you all. I want to operate my lane in a way that makes it where everybody else can jump on my bus and come on where we got to go. And let's do this thing and do the best we can with it. Don't forget, you guys, love on each other as the best you can. Try hard as you can not to, give each other too much of a hard time when it ain't necessary. If we can check our own egos and just work harder to be better, then I think we're going to all benefit from it. And we'll be able to move forward in the most positive ways throughout this dance and throughout this community. And we can definitely help each other and more. With that said, I want everybody to have yourselves a wonderful one. Oh, right quick, I'm sorry. To all my donors and those who have contributed to Inside Stepping, I want to thank you. We have a special promotion coming up next week for donors, for people who contribute to Inside Stepping. We have a very exclusive product for my donors, and I'm going to put that out next week, so y'all get ready. And next week's show, I believe we're going to have, I can't remember who you have it on as a guest. Y'all have to forgive me. Sometimes I do this by the seat of my pants. Anyway, I'm gone. Y'all have a good night. I got to eat dinner. I love y'all. I have had a fantastic time tonight, even though we are 2 hours and 40 minutes into this show. Thank y'all so much. Love you. Peace out, I think. Peace, y'all. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, its Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities that they represent.